Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. Another fantastic show, boys. It's going to be the best show I've ever done in my entire life. Hope everybody's doing good. Hope everybody's having a wonderful Wednesday night. So I've covered this Palm Beach Pete before, okay? But there's a little bit of a new angle that makes this even weirder that came out today. I don't know if you know about the Palm Beach Pete story. We'll be going over it. We'll be detailing the entire story. A lot of people believe, because he looks like the spitting image of Jeffrey Epstein, that he is in fact Jeffrey Epstein. That this is where he went when he faked his death. He's now living as Palm Beach Pete. And I have to be honest, he looks a lot like Jeffrey Epstein. There are certain angles where you look at him and you go, holy shit, that's Jeffrey Epstein. And yeah, so he got a DNA test done to prove that he's not Jeffrey Epstein. And let's just say the story is getting really, really weird. Okay? To the point where I'm like, because I dismissed it before. And now I'm like, okay, what the hell is actually going on here? Because this is starting to get weird. And I'm going to leave my conclusion to the end. Hello, everybody. If this is true, this is the biggest villain in Batman. I mean, I don't know. I don't know, man. We'll go through it. You guys can make up your own opinions as to what you think is going on here. But this all started back in March when somebody filmed him driving down the road in Palm Beach. And I'll be honest, when you look at him in this first video, like, he looks exactly like Jeffrey Epstein. But yeah, this is where it all started. This is where he went viral. Because somebody recorded him driving in his car and posted it and was like, Epstein's still alive, and it went massively viral. But yeah, this is where it all started with Palm Beach Pete right here. I mean, now tell me that does not look exactly like Jeffrey Epstein. Like, of all the shots I've seen of Palm Beach Pete, this one is the one that most looks like Epstein.
45 long super chatted $5. Saluting face, saluting face, saluting face.
Welcome to the Pingdom, Leroy. You're the man. Thank you very much. I almost forgot, guys. If you're enjoying the show, if you like the show, you want to see it get out to more people, which that'd be nice, smash the thumbs up. Links are also in the description for Discord as well if you would like to become a member or a Patreon member or a member on YouTube. Links are all in the Discord, and super chats are always open. So you guys are welcome to join the conversation pretty much at any time. It's always open. But yeah, this is where he first went viral. And when you look at this, and thank you very much, Leroy. This looks like fucking Epstein, bro. Like, how? I know there's doppelgangers out there, right? Like, I did a lot of traveling when I was young, and I would go from like one school to another school. And it would be weird because I would see students and I'd be like, oh, that's fucking Matt. It's not exactly Matt, but it's like Matt if he had like a brother that was like kind of, you know what I mean? Like, you see people that look like people you already know, and that happens all the time. But this is uncanny how much he looks like Epstein. But yeah, this is where it all blew up. No, that's not Epstein. That's Palm Beach Pete. Okay? And the part to me that makes me a little sussed out is because this guy is embracing this shit. He's not saying, yes, I'm Epstein, but he is now becoming like a celebrity. He's getting fucking sponsorship deals from gambling websites. Big time influencers are interviewing him. He was just on Matan's podcast. We have some clips of that as well. And yeah, like, this dude has like he's like a celebrity now just because he looks like Epstein, or maybe he fucking is Epstein. Which you would think if it was Epstein, he would not be leaning into this. Like, he would already be, like, he would have disappeared and he'd have a whole new identity in another place. But I don't know, maybe Epstein's 4D chessing us and being like, yeah, I'll lean into it. And then people be like, there's no way that's Epstein because he's leaning into it. I don't know, but my God, once again, does that not look like Jeffrey Epstein right there, boys? because it is 100% not him. Oh, okay, well, again, I'm going to leave my conclusion to the end, all right? I got to save something for the end. But that like of all the shots I've seen of him, this shot right here is the most he ever looked like Epstein. It's insane. And then so he came out, he's got a whole Twitter page, Palm Beach Pete. It's at not Epstein. That's his Twitter link, at not Epstein, I believe. And so he came out and responded to it.
Hey everybody, this is Palm Beach Pete, and my video went viral because some dude randomly filmed me while I was driving on I-95, unbeknownst to me. And the next thing I know, I'm a viral sensation. I had my phone down for about 4 hours, and I didn't know my phone was blowing up with all these comments from that video. So I got a lot of traction. It's pretty crazy. Thanks.
So you're not Jeffrey Epstein?
I'm not Jeffrey Epstein. I'm Palm Beach Pete.
Atta boy, yeah.
Okay. Peace out.
All right, so there are times I look at him and I'm like, yeah, he looks like Epstein, but not Epstein. It's like very similar, but like there are points. But then that can be explained with like, oh, he did some plastic surgery. Obviously, if you're going to go into hiding under an alias, you're going to want to do a little bit of plastic surgery, but clearly not enough. He needs more. If that's Epstein, he needs more plastic surgery. But yeah, somebody said something here I wanted to respond to. Pete's been waiting for his break his entire life, man. It is funny, right? You think about it, like people are just dying to go viral and be an internet celebrity these days. And like to become famous because you look like the world's most famous pedophile fucking and now you're famous just because you look like the worst person in the world. I wonder how long he's going to be able to keep this up, and like is he going to have a legit career just from looking like Jeffrey Epstein? Because I mean, there are people out there with legitimate talent, like amazing musicians, writers, fucking all kinds of like artistic talents that they could make like the greatest piece of art and like nobody gives a fuck. But you look like Epstein. Here you go. Here's $100,000 for a sponsorship to promote our fucking betting app or whatever. God, life is kind of fucked up like that, ain't it? It really is. Makes you kind of just not want to try. Like, what's the point, dude? What's the point? Like, I've spent 20 years becoming the greatest guitarist in the world, writing these beautiful melodies, and nobody gives a fuck. And this guy shows up because he looks like Jeffrey Epstein, and everybody, he's famous now. Why should I even fucking try, dude? So yeah. What do we got here? So yeah, so then the video started coming out. Obviously, people are going to make content about it. They made a big deal about his teeth because his lower bottom row of teeth are pretty close to Epstein's teeth, although when I look at it, there are differences. But people kind of ignore the differences and they're just like, oh, look at these three. They're exactly the same. But it's like, yeah, but what about the other three? Those aren't the same. Oh, but obviously he got fucking Invisalign or some shit. Yeah, obviously tons of videos came out.
Palm Beach Pete is actually Jeffrey Epstein.
By the way, I don't even think Epstein really had a barbed wire tattoo. I think that was a Photoshop.
Is actually Jeffrey Epstein.
Because there was a whole fucking thing about that tattoo. And then when I did research on it, I could not find any other instance of him having a tattoo other than this one photo. So I think this is Photoshopped. Is that them as kids? Are you fucking kidding me? I can't believe that's no way that's them as kids. I mean, that's the same fucking photo. You just use AI to change the fucking shirt. Okay, I mean, all right. Whoever made this video, I'm not falling for your bullshit. Here's the teeth. Everybody makes a big deal about the teeth. Okay, look, these 6, 5, 4. Yes, they line up. 4, 3, 2, and 1 really don't though. Well, 2 and 1 kind of do, but 4 and 3 don't. Or 3 and 2. Which one is it? 4. Yeah, 4 and 3 don't, because you can see 4 and 3 are not as 4 is not as pushed forward as Epstein. You know, 4 and 3, 4 is like really pushed forward on Epstein, whereas his is kind of straight in this row. So it's not exactly the same, but we'll ignore that detail because that ruins the fun, right? Because we're having fun here, boys. That's what this is all about.
Palm Beach Pete accidentally admitted a detail. That means he and this guy may be the same person, allegedly. Take a look and take a listen at what he says in this interview on...
See, like, look at Palm Beach Pete. When you look at him, when I look at him, I'm like, that's not Epstein. I understand the similarities, but he just does not look the same as Epstein. But then again, could be some plastic surgery, right?
Be the same person, allegedly. Take a look and take a listen at what he says in this interview on accident. This is weird.
Back in the day, when I was living in the city, I went to a couple of parties and Epstein was there.
Not only was he in Palm Beach the same time.
Yes, this is kind of old news, except that there's new news to update the old news. Like I said, if you were watching from the beginning, there's a new angle to this involving his DNA test, which makes this even weirder. Okay, that was posted by Palm Beach Pete himself, and we will get to that. But we got some people who don't know the whole story, because not everybody's connected to the internet 24/7. I'd like to explain who actual Palm Beach Pete is and how this all came about. And then we'll get to the DNA test, okay?
The other guy
And if I want to report on old news, I'll report on old fucking news.
He was
We'll
also
call
in
this
New
the
York
old
at the
news
same
show.
time and went back to Palm Beach at the same time. That these two seem to be in the same places everywhere simultaneously.
When he first got arrested, when he was on the New York Post, I guess he died in 19 or 18. So when he got arrested, when he came back from Paris and they took him to the correctional facility, I was on the Post, I lived in the city, and people were always circling me around me and giving me double looks.
Yeah, his eyes are. He's also his face is like skinnier. Epstein had kind of more of a square face, like almost like he was on steroids or something. I'm sure Epstein had like the best doctors giving the best test or some shit. But yeah, they're not exactly the same. But again, the people who believe will say, well, of course he had plastic surgery, of course.
Wait, hold on. Wait, in 2019, you're saying you lived in New York City?
Yes.
Oh so you've been everywhere he goes.
Yes.
Yeah. He lived in New York when Epstein lived in New York. He lived in Palm Beach when Epstein lived in Palm Beach. Kind of weird, but also could just be a weird coincidence, right? Here's an interview he did. Jeffrey Epstein looked like Palm Beach Pete says he now has access to young children and is living his best life. Palm Beach Pete, why would you say something like that? You know, people think you're Epstein, and then you're like talking about how you have access to young children now. What the fuck?
Of course, we have to ask you, are you Jeffrey Epstein?
I am not, but thanks for having me. Really appreciate it. I'm Palm Beach Pete, living my life. I'm retired. I'm 71 years old. How many people at my age get to hang out with young kids, influencers, and really enjoy the journey? So that's what's happening in my life right now, Katie.
Yeah, so Palm Beach Pete, you talked about...
I would have never...
You never would have thought this would happen, right?
Correct.
Of course, we have to ask you, are
I have access to young children. Oh, dude, what the fuck? Why would that come out of your mouth? I think he's talking about like young influencers or something, because he's hanging out with these young influencers who are like, you know, oh, maybe I'll get a viral video if I have fucking Jeffrey Epstein in it, you know, Palm Beach Pete. But that's a weird fucking thing to say, Pete. A weird fucking thing to say. He even took a lie detector test to prove he's not Epstein.
Are you, or do you know, a Mossad agent?
When I was in the Maccabi games,
Oh, hell, there we go.
in 2005, my first round match was against a guy named Moti. And when I finished playing him,
would Epstein be 71 now too as well? I thought he was. Let me look
guy
that
that
up.
was watching the match says, "You know who you were playing?" I said, "Yeah, Moti." He told me he was a policeman, and then he said, "No, he's one of the heads of Mossad." So I kind of knew him. I played him in a tennis tournament.
So he's hanging out with Mossad, bro. No, Epstein would be 73 today. Born on January 20th, 1953. Oh shit, we're both Aquariuses, bro. Now I don't feel good about being an Aquarius. I always felt good about being an Aquarius because I was like, yeah, I got the same birthday as Mozart and shit because I'm a fucking genius like Mozart. Now I also realize, not the same birthday as Epstein, but we're the same sign. Fuck. Sucks. I can't change it. I am an Aquarius. There's no way of changing that. All right. Well, I guess not all Aquariuses are as badass as me. Okay.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, he did. That's truthful.
Okay.
So the lie detector test is saying he's not lying. He knows him. I don't know if he knows a Mossad agent, but he played a game with them, whatever fucking game they're talking about.
As of today, April 9th, 2026, are you in direct relationships or contact with any type of Mossad agent?
No.
That's the truth.
And besides that one guy you met, you do not know any more Mossad agents?
Yes.
Yes, you don't?
I don't know any Mossad agents
So no, the answer is no.
No, I don't know any Mossad agents other than that one man I met.
Okay.
That's the truth.
I guess there's just, if you go to Israel, there's a good chance you'll meet a Mossad agent. Clearly, I mean, this guy's Jewish too, clearly, right? I mean, he's probably, I bet you, one of the problems is like he might actually be related to Epstein, and that's why the DNA, we'll get to the DNA stuff. But here's more on the lie detector. Palm Beach Pete took a lie detector test after being accused by conspiracy theorists.
Have you and Jeffrey Epstein ever been in the same room together?
I was at a party and he was at that party. I never spoke to him. I never met him. He just happened to be at a party that I was invited to.
So
he also talks a little different than Epstein, but again, he might be playing a character. Like maybe he's gone full like fucking actor mode and has absorbed this new character of Palm Beach Pete and completely like changed his whole personality. I mean, if it's life or death, people will do shit like that if they have to.
The answer is yes.
The answer was yes. I was in a room and he was in the same room.
No, I'm getting a little deception there.
Why would he lie about something like that?
Metal2JS420 super chatted $2. I don't think it's the real Epstein, maybe a relative.
No, it's not they're doing a lie detector test. That's what the cuff is, bro. It's to test it so they could see if his blood pressure goes up or whatever. Like, yeah, it's part of the lie detector test. Yeah, I see that, Metal2J. I'm kind of on that board too, but I want to save that to the end, right? Once we're done with this Palm Beach Pete, I'll give you my take, all right? But right now, I just want to go over it. You guys can form your own opinions, and then I'll let you know what I think about it. But yeah, he lies, or the lie detector test doesn't. What does this guy say again? So remember, the question is, was he ever in the same place as Jeffrey Epstein? He claims he was in a party in New York where Epstein was also at.
So the answer is yes?
The answer was yes. I was in a room and he was in the same room.
No, I'm getting a little deception there.
So, okay, why would you lie about that? Why would you say you were in the same room with Epstein and then that'd be, unless you're trying to make people think you're not Epstein, how could I be Epstein if we were at the same place at the same time? And that's the one thing he lies about? I don't know, dude. I don't know. So he's also running for mayor of Palm Beach, and this is where it's getting interesting, okay? Jeffrey Epstein lookalike Palm Beach Pete announces he's running for mayor of Palm Beach, saying he's excited that the town is getting younger. Oh, no. Bro, just take the word young out of your vocabulary, okay? Please. You can't look like Jeffrey Epstein and keep talking about how much you like young kids. It's not good, dude.
And it's getting younger every year, the residents that are moving to Palm Beach.
Yeah.
And of course, in West Palm Beach, it's very much younger. A lot of Gen X and Generation Zers. And obviously what Mr. Ross has done to West Palm Beach by bringing all the financial institutions down there. It's like the
a lot of jobs.
Yeah, it's like the finance capital.
Let me jump in on this. I've been dying to ask you about this because, you talked about younger people coming in. Obviously, you have made it on social media and been viral with this Epstein's Alive video, kind of put you on the map. Do people sometimes know you for that, come up to you for that, and are you going to...
Bro, I just need somebody that looks like me to do some terrible shit so I can become famous based on looking like a fucking disgusting human being. I'll be a good person. I'm a good person. I just want somebody that looks like me to do something terrible because I need to blow up too, bro. What do I got to do to blow up?
Try to pivot away from that lookalike Epstein, moniker as you go into sort of more campaigning, more serious issues, Pete?
Great
or
question.
Are you just going to run with it?
No. come up to me. They love my Palm Beach Pete content. And
That's what it is. They love your.
At Metal2JS420 super chatted $2. Will the real Jeff Epstein please stand up?
Yeah, I mean, there is a possibility he's alive. That's a real possibility. I just don't think this would be. He would just move to the same place he lives and then be out there, like, trying to be famous, trying to become a famous influencer. Like, that part's hard to. It would be so dumb. It'd be so dumb.
it has nothing to do with that viral human being. I can't help that I look like.
It's vile, not viral human being. How are you going to be mayor of Palm Beach if you can't understand the difference between vile and viral? Okay, that's a problem, Pete.
And it has nothing to do with that viral human being. I can't help that I look like him, and I'm making the most of the situation and staying positive. So that's how I approach. That's how I approach it. I'm a better looking version than that person.
He thinks he's better looking than the original Epstein. I'm sorry. Look, the original Epstein had a lot of money, so he had better hair. He had better hair work. I don't know if that's a piece or what. His hair was better. He looked more muscular. He had a better tan. Say what you want about Epstein, okay? He's a piece of shit. He's better looking than you, Palm Beach Pete. I'm sorry to say. From my opinion, as a straight man. Okay, maybe we need to get the ladies in here to decide who's better looking, because to me, I don't know. I think look at the comparison right there. There's Epstein, there's Palm Beach Pete. I mean, Epstein's clearly got the money to be like looks maxing. But here's Alex Jones covering it. I mean, we can't have a fucking crazy conspiracy without hearing from the king of conspiracy himself, Alex Jones.
What if I told you that both Palm Beach Pete and Jeffrey Epstein have an involuntary speech pattern that they can't help but make, and it's identical? What would that do for you? Let's check it out.
Own business, and some knucklehead films me
as perpetrating one of the largest frauds.
Films me.
Okay, I mean, that is interesting, but I don't know if that's enough to be like, it's Epstein.
Frauds. And by the way, I independently verified that both of those clips are real. There's no way to know for sure. He did a lie detector test also on a podcast, and they asked him, he said that he lived in New York the exact same years that Epstein lived in New York. He lived in Palm Beach the exact same years that Epstein lived in Palm Beach. They asked him if he had ever been in the same place as Epstein. He said that he had been at a...
Like, is it just me? Look, like, these are identical. The first three, right to left, they're basically identical. But then after that, they're not identical. Like, what are we doing here? Why do we... It's like you're cherry picking. Like, okay, they're exactly the same, but then ignoring the ones that aren't exactly the same.
Party that Epstein was at. It's like, it's crazy. He's saying, he also says that he's doing a DNA test right now.
But look, I mean, let's be honest. Like, Epstein's better looking. What am I didn't think I was going to start this show talking about how good looking Jeffrey Epstein is. He's not good looking, but he's better looking than Palm Beach Pete, dude.
Now,
but look at the face. His face is much more narrow and long, whereas Epstein's face is a little more squared off and a little more shorter. Like, his chin's way bigger than Epstein's chin.
He's like, yeah, I'm doing a DNA test.
But that could be a surgery, bro. They could have done like the way you do breast implants, you do a little chin implant.
So I'm going to prove I'm not Jeffrey Epstein. I'm like, where would you have gotten Jeffrey Epstein's DNA, guy? You know what I mean?
Oh, well, let me just say to my producers, I want to get Palm Beach Pete on.
By the way, I think it's happening because Palm Beach Pete, good old Palm Beach Pete. Here's his page right here. Yeah, not Jeff Epstein. That's his at. His at is not _ Jeff Epstein. He only follows one person. Who do you think it is? Yeah, he's probably going to be on Alex Jones here soon. He's going to be on there for sure.
I cannot wait to watch that. I will watch that with an ear-to-ear smile.
Do it, guys. Here he is with some hot chicks.
Guys, it's Palm Beach Pete. Where in the world am I now? I'm with these beautiful ladies, and I'm gaming, and I can't stop winning.
We love you. I
wonder how much money he got for this, dude. You know, these gambling ads pay a lot. So he blows up because he looks like Epstein, and then here comes all the gambling money. Can I get some fucking gambling money too, please? Please, what do I gotta do to get some of that gambling money, bro? For fuck's sake.
Okay, let's go shopping.
Now, okay. Haas Hog Boss Dog. Nice name. I agree that when I look at him, I go, that's not Epstein. But to say they don't look alike, that's not true. They do look alike, but they're not exactly identical to where when my brain can distinguish between the two. Like if you showed me a picture of Epstein and you showed me a picture of Pete, I think I'd be able to distinguish between the two every single time. But they do look alike. There's no doubt about that. Start gambling on stream. I don't have the money to gamble. That's the thing. The people that are usually gambling on stream, they're paid to do that, and they're not risking their own money. You know.
Let's look at this. People can't stop debating these comparisons. Jesse on Fire on X, and I've seen this guy for a month.
At Flatmamba Official super chatted $2. Justice for this Palm Beach Pete goon, Jesus bless.
Justice? I don't think he did anything. I mean, if he is Epstein, then yeah, I mean, we need to lock him up. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know his whole history, so.
They say he's
thank you for the
Jeffrey Epstein. He looks about 95% like him. You look at the teeth and think it's him. What would the point be of him parading around in Palm Beach? Tell us about this guy.
Honestly, I mean, when I looked at so I thought I saw that you know, there's all kinds of stuff out on him, and I just wasn't even paying attention. And I saw the TikTok where the person had the comparison of the teeth, and I looked at the low.
Zabox guy. I'm trying. ZS Bax guy. You can tell them apart because you are white. There is no way someone from China can tell the difference. I agree. I mean, I can't tell the difference with Chinese. Like if there was a Chinese Epstein, I wouldn't. You're right. But I'm an expert because I'm a white person. So I'm an expert at distinguishing between white people that look similar.
Or teeth, and I looked at it, I'm like, okay, well, I can't verify that this is actually Palm Beach Pete's teeth and that this is actually Jeffrey Epstein's teeth. So I didn't think a lot about it. But then I had someone who I know personally who went to the Aiden Ross fight. You know, the Aiden Ross put on that big fight where Menery fought against Johnny Manziel, and he spent a very long time with Palm Beach Pete off camera, and he was like, "Listen, dude," he's like, "I'm telling you,
buddy,
he's not even
a member."
What's up, buddy? Welcome to the memberships, bro. Thank you for your support, buddy.
Ball, it's him. And I was like, "Really?" He's like, he wanted me to know, and he told me some specific stories. I'm not gonna out the guy, but when he said that, I was like, I'm like, okay, so let me actually take a look at this then, because I know this guy. And so I then went and sourced the two pictures, and since Palm Beach Pete had the teeth comparison go viral, since then he has done like a dozen posts where he gives an absolutely perfect view of his bottom teeth on purpose. And the very first one that he did was he puts himself in a dentist chair. He's all, "Hey guys, where in the world is Palm Beach Pete? I'm here getting my teeth fixed so no one compares my teeth to that really bad guy." You know who I'm talking about. So I went into some of the public, Epstein pictures. It's very hard to find a photograph of Epstein's bottom teeth, but there's one, and I found it. And I found it in like a .org, like that's the picture, the one on the left. And when you look, the only, he's had him shaved down, but if you just look at the numbers, it's like number one is forward on both of them. Number two is back on both of them. The two in the middle, it looks like he's had some Invisalign, and those are improved a little bit. But then,
yeah, I mean, they're not exactly the same. So, okay, I guess you can explain it with he did some work. But yeah, again, they don't all line up.
The other ones, they are identical, forward and back. And then I was like, I wonder if anybody's looked at his ears, because that's how you knew the corpse was not him, from the original announcement, like, "Oh, here's Epstein's corpse." And you look at the ear, they're like, "Okay, that's not him."
Yeah, we covered this before. The ears on the photos of Epstein's corpse, it seems like there's something weird going on there because it didn't line up with his normal ears.
And so when I looked and I did research on what can be changed with plastic surgery and what can't, and the center part, the cartilage structures are that you can't change those, but you can change the outside. So I looked at the cartilage structures and I was like, holy shit, it's the same. And so I looked at that, and then someone sent me another thing, which had him, there was he showed the same stutter in an interview as Palm Beach Pete, and another one as in one of his depositions as Jeffrey Epstein. And then another guy showed me that he had, emails where his assistant was setting up appointments with a very prominent plastic surgeon in New York. And I'm like, holy shit, it's like, this is really him. And, now when I look at his content, it's like he knew, he got a nose job, obviously, and probably lost about 15 pounds. That's like, that literally is, and, he's had a little bit of adjustment to his teeth. And I'm marveled by that if it is him, that he knew that no one mainstream would take it seriously no matter what you pointed at. It's unbelievable, because I look and I'm like, oh my God, it's like, this is really him. And then
it doesn't look the same to me either.
When I look at his...
but like, you need to make a video that's going to go viral. You're going to kind of skip over the details that aren't the same and just focus on the ones that are the same, because, it's not going to be a viral video saying, this isn't Epstein, because it's not exactly the same. Like, you got to play ball. You want that viral attention, right? What's this guy's name again? Jesse on Fire. I remember I reacted to his video before. These guys, this is what they do. They make a living on this type of content. So they're going to fucking fudge over any details that might, make their conspiracy not believable.
His posts, I'm not going to lie, I laugh every single time, because he's so overtly trolling people who have figured it out that it's hilarious.
Well, there are also photos
Palm Beach
months after he died of a guy from a drone getting out of an ATVs, and it looks just like Silverstein. Looks just like Epstein.
Yep.
At his island.
Yep. There's another. I think I saw another one at Zorro too, like the same type of thing, where there's a picture, and I think he's got his arms crossed on the Zorro one, and then I think the one at the island, he pops his head up. But I don't know. I mean, listen, I did it, and I mean, I put that whole thing together, put it out, and I thought that was like, I thought it was a headshot. I was looking, to me, I'm like, this is a wrap. And I've showed it to a lot of really smart people. They're all, I don't know. There's some people who are really smart, and they're like, oh yeah, that's him for sure. But I don't know. A lot of people are still not.
Well, let me back you up here.
I mean, there's no way to know for sure.
Let me back you up here, and if you can stay, if you gotta go, understand. But I'm going to play these clips.
Yeah. No, we're good.
Remember that on 4chan and 8chan, they had a whistleblower.
Yep. That
came out like 45 minutes before it was announced anywhere that Epstein had killed himself, but he didn't really kill himself. And that they brought him out the back and brought another body out the front. All that matched later.
Yep.
And then you start adding everything else to it. And he was telling everybody, I'm getting out of here soon. And that's the type of witness protection program they do for a CIA Mossad operative. He was that.
Guys, FYI, if you see Cyber Twitch in the chat, can you let him know that I think his Discord got hacked and he needs to reset all of his Discord shit, FYI?
You see the head of the Trilateral Commission, it turned out. For David Rockefeller as his stand-in. That's in the document. It's more powerful than I thought. And so Trump wants it all shut down. And so then you have Hillary Rodham Clinton's brother that looked just like Epstein, died a few weeks before. He's a spitting image of the body they wheel out. You start adding all this together. It's definitely not Epstein there. They didn't know somebody would get a snapshot of him, of the body.
It was his ears were different, but plus his nose looked different.
And so you add all that to this, and then all of a sudden, Kash Patel and Bongino, that had always covered what we're covering, that clearly he didn't kill himself, put out videos saying it's all there. And first it's a minute missing, then 10 minutes missing, and then it's all doctored. Stay there. I want to talk about this. We know there's a cover-up. And then it turns out Trump wants to cover up a butler right to the top. And Tucker can confirm all that. He's on tomorrow. Because I was at Tucker's house whenever he was getting these calls about some of it. He told me some of it off record, but now he's gone public. I talk about it. And just remember, my source was not Joe Kent about that cabinet meeting about Kash Patel saying don't look at foreign involvement in Charlie Kirk. It was other folks.
I never heard that he was. I just heard that was just a rumor that I had.
No, I'm not saying you're wrong. Internet. I'm not saying he couldn't have been sourced from somebody else. I'm just saying I had other sources of it. People think this is the deepest dive ever. People always cover like one aspect. Ooh, breaking. It's the biggest thing ever. I was covering it back when it all happened. I've been reviewing my books, my films, getting more clips, and the researcher here that knows as much as I do, Thomas, works like 6 days a week. He's out Mondays. I got in this morning. He's like, hey, where's Thomas? I want the file on that. And I'm like, oh, he's not here today. And I'm like, well, I'm still going to cover it. And I'm like, maybe I won't. Now that this guest, we're covering all these important issues. And don't worry, talk about Israel a lot. We're not covering up for them. That tomorrow, I promise 1 hour on this. 1 hour. In fact, check the schedule with guests, probably 4th hour again. And I will do an entire hour on with even more.
On
like that
what?
old ad in the 70s that we will sell
What
no
did I
wine
miss?
until it's time. When I get over this, the problem is I'll start researching and find even more and remember even more. And then I may do 2 hours on it tomorrow. I don't know if you want to listen to that. But I will get to it tomorrow, okay? It will happen. It will happen. But continuing with the Mossad operative, Jeffrey Epstein, also CIA, the biggest takeaway, well, there's so much in the Epstein files, is they're talking about eating people. They're talking about the sex slaves are at the hotel. I mean, it's there. It's going on. The human cloning, the genetic engineering, Zorro Ranch, underground base there. That's all confirmed. Snorkels up at the top. Massive cover-up going on. And then you've got this guy that looks, got 95% like Epstein in Palm Beach. And I'm not saying it's Epstein, but I do think things lean towards him staging his death and then them just doing some cosmetic surgery on it and things. Do we know Jesse on Fox?
Bro, should I try to get Palm Beach Pete on for an episode? I think if I was bigger, he would, because he's obviously looking for any fucking attention and clout he can get. My show might be too small, but I should try it. Maybe I can pull it off. We'll get Palm Beach Pete. I can interview fucking, the closest thing to interviewing Epstein is getting Palm Beach Pete.
The people can find on X at Real Jesse on Fire, Instagram Real Jesse on Fire, X at Real Jesse on Fire, and YouTube Jesse on Fire. Do we know who first reported on Palm Beach Pete? Like, when did he first service? I think that's important.
So he popped up because someone was just driving next to him, supposedly, and they filmed him driving in his car, and then he, and it went viral. Like, hey, is this Pete? It's like, I mean, you're talking like a few months ago, but if you want a perfect example of what I'm talking about him trolling everyone once, I mean, this is well after everybody's been talking about it being him. Play that clavicular clip with sound. It's super quick. It's like 15 seconds. But that one where my shout out to clavicular, play that with sound. Super quick.
Let me show you the clips. I've got you on the teeth. Oh, sorry, I was eating a piece of sandwich.
The one I'm talking about is number 6.
Okay, here's a clip.
Hey everybody, listen up. It's Palm Beach Pete here. Clav, I'm a big supporter of facial reconstruction, and you're getting a lot of shade on the internet, and that's not right. You continue doing you. I'm a big supporter. Peace out, Palm Beach Pete.
See, I think he might be fucking trolling because he's a big supporter of facial reconstruction surgery. What the fuck is that kind of, what? Obviously he's leaning into it because I think he understands if too many people decide that there's no conspiracy here, that he's clearly not Epstein, then all the attention goes away. So he's got to kind of keep that little fucking thread going, that like, hey, little hints here or there to get people going, oh, he must be Epstein. What kind of thing is that to say?
So
I can't help but laugh every single time, dude. It's just so like, my wife, every time that she watches it, she laughs, and she's like, yeah, but I'm not convinced it's him. I'm like, the whole reason it's funny is if it really is him. It's hilarious. Like, he's that confident that nothing comes of any of this, that he can just throw that on the internet in everyone's face and then run for mayor.
Or maybe he's just a good sport. I mean, I've said that I'm Bill Hicks. I've had probably 20 times now.
Or maybe because he knows his entire fucking fame is based off people thinking he's Epstein, so he's got to lean into it.
At a restaurant, Barton Springs, was the last time it happened.
He's going to end up just being an Epstein impersonator. Like, hire him for parties. He shows up looking like Epstein. He's got to have a couple hot chicks with him.
And I'm sitting there with my...
Look, it's possible, but... if you look, if you put their faces side by side, look at their chins. Look at their chins. Because like a nose job changes a person's face so drastically that it's kind of, it's a gigantic change.
Hey, have we done this? Have you compared his legs? Because there's shots of Epstein in shorts. Hey guys, back that up to when he's walking and let's find a shot of
Epstein was way more jacked than this guy is.
Epstein in shorts. We need to look at the legs, but go ahead and play clip 64.
He's definitely lost weight. If it is him, he's lost a lot of weight. But
dude, you said I don't think Epps had that much humility to run with a joke like that. I don't know. I mean, he was into comedy. Like, Epstein was like constantly trying to make friends with comedians and shit. It's a little weird, but he did like comedy.
The other thing
Epstein.
too is very intentionally I've never done a lick of research into this guy at all on purpose, because if it is Epstein, I don't want all I cover is stuff that they've put out. Like, oh, you put this out, I'll talk about it. I'm not trying to I'm not trying to research this guy
because of what? They're gonna kill you, or maybe because if you researched him, you'd realize there's no way he's fucking Epstein, right? And you don't want that because then you can't grift off of that.
They scare the shit out of me.
Here's clip 64. Here it is.
Everybody's just always grifting. I'm gonna die. You guys, if anything happens to me, guys, I'm probably gonna die too here soon. I think Israel's going to kill me. If anything happens to me, just know I'm not suicidal. Bada. I tried to say it differently, but I didn't. I fucked that up. Guys, they're trying to kill me.
Oh, guys, we're in the rails of Palm Beach Peak now. He's in his backyard on the beach. And I noticed there's no lounge chairs. There's no cabana service. When I throw my hat in the roof in Mayor of Palm Beach, that is going to be on my platform. Free setup at the beach. Free setup at every pool. Palm Beach for mayor.
Honestly, I hope he wins, bro. I hope he wins.
Is he really running for mayor?
Yeah, he is. Well, he says he is. And he said that, so that he did a lie detector test also on a podcast. And they asked him, he said,
yeah, he could have said that for clout, or maybe Clavicular was like, this is what I want you to say. Cause he is, doing, what's that shit called? Where basically you can pay somebody to read what you want them to read.
Yefa-67 super chatted $10. Protect ping at all costs.
Yeah, I've been worried, Huffy. Thank you for the 10. I mean, that's why I converted to Judaism, so they don't kill me. I'm like, if I'm Jewish, maybe they can't kill me. Maybe there's a rule against killing me if I become Jewish, but I don't know. I don't know if that'll save me.
That he lived in New York the exact same years that Epstein lived in New York. He lived in Palm Beach the exact same years that Epstein lived in Palm Beach. They asked him if he had ever been in the same place as Epstein. He said that he had been at a party that Epstein was.
Yeah, Cyber Twitch, you're here. Okay, Cyber Twitch. I don't know what's going on in Discord, but you started posting the same thing those spammers were posting. So I was worried you got your account hacked. I don't know if you were joking or your account was hacked. And then that got me worried. Like if people clicked on that fucking picture, they were trying to. The people kept coming in posting this picture of Mr. Beast and some sort of crypto scam where they're trying to get people to. It's always a crypto scam. And then you posted the same picture. So I'm wondering if you clicked the picture and if there was some fucking hack involved with that. I don't know, bro, but check your Discord. Make sure it's not hacked. And I had to remove you as a member because I set it up so like the only people that can post now are members that are like vetted. So I have to add you back as a member once you fix that.
It's crazy. He's saying he also says that he's doing a DNA test right now. He's like, yeah, I'm doing a DNA test, so I'm going to prove I'm not Jeffrey Epstein. I'm like, where would you have gotten Jeffrey Epstein's DNA, guy? You know what I mean?
Oh, let me just say to my producers, I want to get Palm Beach Pete on.
I cannot wait to watch that. I will watch that.
We'll watch it as well.
With an ear-to-ear smile.
Do it, guys. Here he is with some hot chicks. You know what? I don't think it's Epstein. I think he's Ashkenazi Jew, New York Jew, similar genetics. That's how a black Labrador retriever that's of the, best in show. Every year, I'm not a huge dog fancier, but I'll try to go with my mom. She likes.
Dude, I mean that's a pretty good conspiracy. Palm Beach Pete escaped from Zorro Ranch. He's an Epstein genetic clone. That could explain the weird DNA results, because we're getting into that next.
Said we'll try to watch the Westminster Dog Show, and you'll see the black lab, and it looks just like the one from the year before, even though it's not. I mean, it's inbreeding. I mean, I just think he's trolling everybody. Maybe you're right. Maybe it is him, but here he is.
Are you saying the Jewish people did some inbreeding? I can't believe that.
Dash Squad super chatted $7.77. What's good, Pingduum? Keep up the good work. SSSSSSSSHISSSSS cos 77777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777777.
There's no way he didn't say all the sevens already. That's a lot of sevens. Thank you, Nephilim, for the 777. Lucky number, bro.
Here he is with some ladies. Here we go.
Guys, it's Palm Beach Peak. Where in the world am I now?
I believe you're serious, old word, Joe, and that is plausible because there was some shady shit where, like, I've heard there were trying to clone people and stuff, and maybe he made some clones of himself. So he could disappear and have the clone replace him, and then the clone goes to jail. I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility, and the technology exists to do that, doesn't it?
I'm with these beautiful ladies, and I'm gaming, and I can't stop winning.
We love you.
Okay, let's go shopping.
Stake, yeah, so Stake threw him a bunch of money. What a world we live in.
Well, it's Epstein and the ladies again.
That's what I'm saying.
What a world.
I mean, listen, like one thing people learn about me real fast is there's no hill that I'm going to die on. Like if people are like, oh, I think you're wrong about this. I'm like, maybe.
Hey, listen, stuff's so weird. I don't blame you. I'm only covering it now because you were on as a guest. I haven't touched it yet, even though it's been out for months, just because, here's the deal. It was declassified in the 60s. The CIA at Plum Island brought in Nazi scientists and weaponized syphilis and called it Lyme disease and released it. People wouldn't even believe that when I had to declassify congressional documents. So I never got into UFOs and stuff. You couldn't prove one or the other because people couldn't even believe it. We have executive orders about martial law and forced labor camps and FEMA, since the 80s. People don't believe that. They can go read the damn executive order on the government website. So to me, that's why I stay away from this stuff. But I think it's important also just to examine the phenomenon because people, it looks like a terrible day he's having, I'll tell you that. I like that champagne and what it's doing. Love that waterfall. But seriously, love God's creations. But seriously, you can't blame.
That is a good question. If he is a clone, how does the clone get that old? Maybe there's some technology we don't understand. Maybe they can clone an old man to be old. I don't know.
Anybody when they've been lied to so much now, not believing anything they're told. That is the loss of confidence in the system.
That's the end result of all of this stuff. That's why I try really hard not to fall into the trap of just not believing anything, but it's nearly impossible because everything that comes down an official channel ends up being either a lie or so drastically skewed in one direction that it is essentially a lie, I feel like.
And then you get Q people that can't believe everything's a lie, so they say everything's true, the good guys are secretly in control. That's one end of delusion. The other end is everything's...
He could be aging backwards. Maybe they have clones that come out they come out like as like 90-year-old men and then they age backwards. That could be going on.
Fake. Everything's a fraud. The world is flat. The moon is made of cheese. Computers aren't real. Nuclear weapons aren't real. GPS isn't real. We're not real. We're a simulation. And I'm a clone because I started working out with one of Joe Rogan's trainer buddies and started doing intermittent fasting, and over a year lost 65 pounds.
He does look so fucking different from... You look at the Alex Jones from like 5 years ago. I mean, he looks so different, bro.
Gained back about 15. I've lost about 10 of it. I'm 5 pounds from where I was, bitches. And by the way, I'm going down an extra 20 on top of it. So when I look like Governor Tarkin from Star Wars, because that's what I'm going to look like, when I get down to like 200, people are going to flip out and say he's a clone. Well, if I'm a clone, why is a clone suddenly skinny? Why couldn't they make a fat clone? And how does this clone sound just like me? Here's the thing. If I'm a clone, I don't know it. Got my point?
It's flattery, man. Epstein was advised to use plastic surgery to evade being caught in unearthed email. It's actually a series of emails where his assistant was setting up appointments with a prominent New York plastic surgeon in 2018, right before he was arrested.
It's one of the emails.
Bro, I mean, wouldn't you, if you had all the money in the world and access to like the best scientists in the world, and you knew you were up to some shit where you might need to disappear at some point, I mean, if you had the ability to do that, wouldn't you create some fucking clones? So that one day you could just disappear and have your clones fucking go to jail for... I mean, maybe the guy that died in prison wasn't even Epstein. Maybe that was one of his other clones. And old Palm Beach Pete is just one of the fucked up clones that escaped. Like, it's close, but it's not close enough. We need to do another one. And then he escaped
Polished
the
Pride
Palm Beach.
68 super chatted $1.99. Alex Jones for Governor Tarkin 2027.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Thank you.
From Leslie Groff
doing,
to
Polish?
NYU Plastic Surgery for Big E. Paperwork for Big E appointment on July 11th, 2018. Attached, please find the paperwork for Big E. His appointment is tomorrow, Wednesday, July 9th. If you need anything else, please do not hesitate to ask. Please do confirm receipt of this email.
Now, obviously, connecting him to a plastic surgeon in preparation for having to go on the run is a massive piece of evidence. But there's one more huge piece that we're going to look at in this video. What if I told you that both Palm Beach Pete and Jeffrey Epstein have an involuntary speech pattern that they can't help but make?
Yeah, we've seen that. He goes, fuff. He stutters on the F's. Okay, so that means it's him. So Palm Beach Pete replies to this video of Alex that Alex put out. Hey, Real Alex Jones, I am not Jeffrey Epstein. I would be happy to come on your show and explain this to your followers. And once again, the only person Palm Beach Pete follows is Alex Jones. So good likelihood we're going to see Palm Beach Pete on the Alex Jones show. And he was just on Matan's show.
Hold the mic close to yourself and then introduce yourself.
Here's Matan trolling
to
him.
anybody who might not know you, but I doubt that that's very many.
Thanks for having me here, Matan. I'm Palm Beach Pete. Nice to meet everyone.
And so, you're not Epstein?
Nah, I'm not Epstein. Palm Beach Pete, he's dead. I'm a better looking version than him.
No, you look identical. I thought you guys are the same guy. Is that not true?
No, he's dead. I'm me.
Was your plan always to pretend to kill yourself and then reappear a few years later as your own lookalike?
I wish I was that smart. Would you kill yourself?
If I was accused maybe of what you got accused of, then I might so do it if I knew that I had.
Yeah, I don't know why it's not showing your super chat's not popping up in the notifications, flat man. Everything sucks because we don't know what's real. This is true. This is true. Yeah, I don't know what. Maybe there's just a delay there, flat man. I don't know why that didn't play. We'll see. I'll try to get it to play here in a second.
The way to tinker myself into culture like you have done today.
No, I'm just me. It just happened to
It's
look
true.
like him.
It is one of the most frustrating parts. Is like we're lied to so much. It's like it's hard to distinguish what is actually real these days.
A little bit.
So you've looked like this all your life?
I've gotten older over the years.
And your job now is kind of being a social media influencer?
Yeah.
Do you prefer that over like banking and all that other stuff?
You know, it's a third career for me, so it's a lot of fun. And I'm just having a blast, and it's very interesting meeting guys like you.
Like me?
Yeah, no, seriously, Matan, you guys are amazing. You're brilliant. What you do, what you're able to create, and because everyone's trying to do it, but you've risen to the top, and I'm hanging with you guys, so it's a fucking blast.
I appreciate it. And do you prefer this over banking and all the blackmail stuff, or because this is a little calmer, or you had more power back then, so you kind of...
I like them both. But
This is what are you doing, bro? Why would did he not understand the question? Why would he say I like them both? Maybe that's a slip up, dude. Maybe that's just a little slip up.
You had for this over banking.
And I'm hanging with you guys, so it's a fucking blast.
I appreciate it. And do you prefer this over banking and all the blackmail stuff, or because this is a little calmer, or you had more power back then, so you kind of...
I like them both. But
You
this,
like them both?
this is fun because my age, how many guys get to do what I'm doing? Nobody.
It's a good point. How old are you now?
71.
I don't think Epstein would be 71, and I believe you're him.
Thanks. He'd be about 73, 74, I guess.
Yeah, that's what it says. 73 today.
Somewhere around there.
See, that just seems like a lie. It seems like you're just pulling off a couple of years.
No.
I'm being completely serious.
No, he's older, for sure.
Okay. Do you deserve the death penalty?
No.
Why?
Because I haven't done anything wrong.
I mean, if you want to say that those things are okay, then that's fine, but...
It's funny.
So what do you think? I know we don't really do the death penalty now. I think it's been like 10 years, but...
It's not relevant because I'm Palm Beach Pete. I'm having a fucking blast doing what I'm doing. I get to meet guys like you, so it's not relevant at all.
But meeting guys like me doesn't overdo all of those things. I mean, I don't know which ones you were found guilty of. Obviously, you died before
yeah.
we really got to know.
He did die. It's terrible.
It's terrible that he
You
died?
said he died. Yeah, it's terrible.
I said died.
Yeah, you said died.
With quotation marks.
Yeah.
And also, you said it was terrible. See, you're even slipping up. That's like a Freudian right there.
No, it's
he
not.
died. It was terrible. You wouldn't say that about somebody that's not yourself, especially if they were like a mass.
Well, no, you're saying that I'm him and he died. It would be terrible if I died. That's my point.
So you're him?
No.
So then why would it be terrible?
I don't want to die.
I didn't say you died. I said he died.
I don't want to.
Just the idea.
At MFN
Remember
Damien
Damien's
super
played?
chatted $10. I forgot that Coheed and Cambria existed until Matan started popping up everywhere. I hate him for it, they suck. Death metal for life. Hail Santa, saluting face sign of the horns.
What's up, motherfucking Damien? Yeah, I've never listened to Coheed and Cambria, but isn't that Richard from Howard Stern's favorite band? 'Cause I remember hearing him talk about them all the time, like he was obsessed with them, but not my style.
Idea of Epstein dying to...
Thank you for the 10. I don't know why yours didn't play, Flatman. It's like yours didn't even get picked up. I don't know if he sent it in a different way. That's weird.
Oh, that's terrible? No, it's terrible what he did.
No, that's not what you said it about.
I understand.
You're saying what he did was also terrible.
Horrific, horrible, vile human being he was.
And did you ever meet him?
I didn't meet him personally, but he was at a party that I attended.
I doubt that.
That would be an interesting edit. Somebody said you should do an edit of this interview where he just admits to being Jeffrey outright. Yeah, I mean, it would be easy because he says, I'm not Jeffrey Epstein, and you just replace it. You just take away the not, and all of a sudden it's, I'm Jeffrey Epstein. It's an easy little splice to make. But yeah, I mean, somebody needs to jump on that, bro. That's an easy edit to make.
It is sad, though, that he may have
Withdrawn.
died. Do you agree with me, Jeff?
Palm Beach Pete, or you could call me Peter.
Can I call you Jeff?
No.
Why?
Because I'm not him.
Well, maybe I'm talking about a different Jeff. Maybe I'm talking about Jeffrey Epstein.
Call me Peter, please. Thank you.
But it's more fun for me if I get to call you Jeff.
No, I get you.
Denies these allegations.
You deny the allegations?
Thank you, Counselor.
That you're Jeff?
Correct.
So I'll just use it as a nickname.
I prefer Peter. That's my given name.
Yeah, but you don't have...
Wait, Matan, if you want to call me Jeff, I'll call you How do you like that?
We have a deal.
I think it's the first time I've seen him kind of get annoyed about, because of course Matan's going to take it to a place other people don't.
You couldn't have made me a better offer.
Or wait, even better, I could call you
What?
Couldn't have made me a better offer.
Or wait, even better, I could call you
Mecca? What is he saying there? What got bleeped out?
My bro.
You think you're insulting me?
No, it's all good, bro.
You're giving me a bigger compliment than you could ever
That's
imagine.
okay, I appreciate it.
Yeah, I think that's the first time I've seen him get flustered. So here's the DNA test stuff. So I guess he finally got so annoyed with this, maybe, or whatever, I don't know, that he decided, okay, I'm going to do a DNA test to prove that I'm not Jeffrey Epstein.
Hey guys, it's Palm Beach Pete, and I just want to let you guys all know that I just got off the telephone with a technician for the DNA lab, and they're working diligently and very hard to get us results, and the purpose of this is to prove everyone that I'm not him. So I really appreciate you guys being patient, and we'll have the results very soon to you for really some exciting news. Peace out, Palm Beach Pete.
I mean, the faces, come on, man. Come on. So yeah, there's a problem. The DNA test is taking forever to come in.
Beach Pete, and I've been getting thousands messages a day inquiring about my DNA test, and I want results. So I've been on the phone all morning with the laboratory, and I was pretty upset with them that they haven't rushed these results. They assured me that I will have them by tomorrow. So it sets a bad tone in my life that I can't move forward. I just want to have an answer already. So come on. Let's get these results out by tomorrow. I really appreciate that. Peace out, Palm Beach Pete.
Okay, so he did get a response, and it's fucking weird. Okay? This is, to me, everything we saw before I can laugh at and go, clearly it's not Epstein. This latest result when it comes to the DNA test makes me wonder what the fuck is going on here. Maybe he's a clone. Maybe he's closely related to Epstein. Maybe he is Jeffrey Epstein. But this is the response he got back. Well, let's read his message first. This morning, instead of getting my DNA test results, I received a letter from the Florida Division of Elections advising me to drop out of my campaign for mayor. Now, I wonder if somebody's trolling him or something, but here's what it says. RE, concerns regarding candidate eligibility and recommendation to withdraw from the Palm Beach mayor race.
At Polish Pride 68 super chatted $1.99.
I would think so.
Does Epstein have DNA on file to reference?
I would imagine at some point he had his DNA. I would imagine so, dude. But yeah, so this is the results he got back. Apparently the state took over the DNA tests because dear Mr. Obviously, well, I mean, they blanked out. Why would he blank out his own name? That's a little weird. The Divisions of Elections has been made aware of credible information that raises serious concerns about your eligibility and suitability to continue as a candidate for mayor of Palm Beach in the 2028 election. So they looked at his DNA results and said, you can't run for mayor? What? Recent DNA analysis by Blacked Out and related inquiries have produced results that have generated extraordinary public confusion regarding your candidate identity and background. These findings call into question key aspects of your campaign and directly impact the integrity of the electoral process and public confidence in potential elected officials. All this because of his DNA test? The Florida Division of Elections will assume full responsibility for conducting and overseeing all further analysis related to these findings. Rather than relying on independent laboratory results, we may require your participation in additional DNA collection and testing procedures as part of this official review. What did they find in his DNA, bro? Did they go like, holy shit, it's fucking Epstein? Or like, this is, I don't know, maybe they can see in the DNA he's an Epstein clone? And it is kind of weird. I don't know if we can elect clones. Is it constitutionally allowed to elect a clone into an elected position? But this is weird to me, dude. Like, what is it about his DNA that all of a sudden they're saying, hey, you need to not run for mayor because of the results we're seeing in your DNA? Genetically disqualified. Uh-oh, the government knows he's a Nephilim. Why would he release his DNA results? It would kill the grift. I mean, what the fuck is going on in Palm Beach here, dude? As a state agency responsible for overseeing candidate qualifications and election administration under Chapter 105 Florida statutes, we strongly advise that you immediately withdraw your candidacy. Voluntary withdrawal at this stage would allow you to address these matters privately while minimizing disruption to the electoral process. We request a written response to this letter within 30 days indicating your decision. Please direct all correspondences to the undersigned. Sincerely, Director, Division of Elections. So whatever they found in his DNA is so fucking out there that they think it disqualifies him from running for mayor? Like, is he a fucking alien, bro? Is he Jeffrey Epstein? Is he a Jeffrey Epstein? Like, this is, to me, like, of all the shit I saw, this is where it gets really weird to me. That he would do a DNA test, and then somehow the state gets a hold of it, and now the state takes over, and now they're telling him he can't run. What the fuck is going on here? Cyber's here. I think he did get hacked. Yeah, I saw him saying that he had to turn on two-factor authentication. I'm hoping that that guy it was like 10 different fucking accounts that kept coming in spamming that fucking bullshit Mr. Beast crypto shit. And it looked like just a regular photo, but I'm wondering if that photo was actually some sort of hack in there, and if you clicked on it, you got hacked. I don't know, man. I don't know. But that's why I had to basically lock down the fucking Discord. So if you're a new person joining the Discord, you should be able to view the main general channel where we all hang out. But I have to make you a member before you can actually talk. So, just give it a little bit. Hang out, and I will make you a member. But I had to lock it down because we got too many fucking losers in there spamming fucking crypto scams. So, I don't know what to make of this, dude. Like, I'm trying to think of, what are the possibilities? Like, what is it about his DNA test that would draw this sort of response? If they compared it and it turns out he's actually Epstein, that would explain this. They're like, yeah, you're actually supposed to be dead. I don't think it would, be right for you to be running for mayor when you're supposed to be dead and you're, in hiding. Or maybe he's so closely related to Epstein that the DNA is really closely related. Or in the DNA, you could tell he's a clone. And maybe he is legitimately an Epstein clone. That escaped Zorro Ranch, bro. That's the thing about clones. You stop watching them for a few seconds and next thing you know, they're out in the world living their life. I don't know, but is it just me or is this fucking weird? Something fishy in his DNA to get the state to step in. What makes you think the letter is real, Ping? Okay, that's another explanation, Akuma Skill. But this is posted by Pete himself. Palm Beach Pete posted this himself. So unless somebody's trolling him and they sent him this and it looks like an official notice and it's just somebody trolling him and he fell for the troll, that's a possibility. But I think we'll get down to the bottom of this here soon. But, of course, Alex Jones is now talking about this. What the fuck? The Florida Division of Elections confiscated Palm Beach Pete's DNA test results, revealing whether or not he's Jeffrey Epstein, and advised him to withdraw his candidacy
The
for mayor.
State Board of Elections found out that Palm Beach Pete, that they're saying Jeffrey Epstein was doing a DNA test for the private company. They said, we're taking over. We're not allowing that. They don't have the right to do that. We suggest you drop out to take care of your problems. Right. What the hell is this?
It is weird, bro. Okay, now, it is probably the most likely explanation is that somebody's trolling him and it's not an official letter from the state. But hopefully you can get, if that is an official letter to the state, I need to understand. I need more details. Like, what is it about the DNA that all of a sudden you can't be mayor because your DNA's weird or something?
Dear Mr. Blank, the Division of Elections has been made aware of credible information that raises serious concerns about your eligibility and suitability to continue as a candidate for mayor of Palm Beach in the 2028 election.
I already read it, so we don't.
Obviously, Jeffrey Epstein. I don't get involved in weird stuff like this, but I had a guest on saying he thinks Palm Beach Pete, like a lot of people are saying, is obviously Jeffrey Epstein. That's the whole point of it. And the guy's kind of trolled around and gotten a lot of, clout with it. But now it's getting a little serious. He's like, no, it's not me. I don't think it's him.
Right.
Okay. But he has reached out to us and he said, hey, real Alex Jones, I'm not Jeffrey Epstein. We do have a shot of that. I would be happy to come on your show and explain this to your followers. So I think he's coming on tomorrow
Okay. I'd like to know, bro, because he can explain it. Like, what if there is more details about what specifically is up with his DNA? And isn't that weird that, like, the state can just be like, hey, we don't like your DNA results, therefore we don't want you to run for mayor. It's like, is he retarded? Is that what it is? Did it turn out he has the retarded gene? Like, yeah, it's a problem. We can't be electing retards. I don't know. I think we should be able to elect retards. I think that's constitutionally acceptable.
At Polish Pride 68 super chatted $4.99. We are regard maxing the 2020s. Remember the Fox guest totally not wearing a mask. Nothing would surprise me at this point.
Oh yeah, that definitely wasn't a mask, bro. That was just a shadow, dude. I still don't buy that shadow bullshit. With the what was the guy's name? The fucking high level military guy. I forget. But to me, I still think what that was an AI filter fucking up. But again, who knows, bro? Sure looked like a fucking mask.
The next day.
I don't buy it was just the lighting was fucked up. So it creates a shadow and the shadow looks like a hole. It's like, no, because when you recreate the exact circumstance that you're saying is what happened, it doesn't look the same. It doesn't look like a fucking mask with the flap sticking out. So yeah, I don't know, man. And we are retard maxing the 2020s. I completely agree, dude. I mean, what a start we had to this fucking not century. What is it called? Decade. The 2020s are fucking. I mean, it started with the fucking fake pandemic, locked everybody into their house, destroyed all the small businesses, and 2020 is a year that like none of us are ever going to forget. Years like that where everything's different. Because a lot of years, I mean, life goes by, every year kind of blurs in with every other year. Think about 21, 22, 23. Your memory of those years is not the same. Like for me, 2020, like I have a fucking vivid memory of 2020. And it's weird how that happens. Like you have years that like a lot of shit happens and those years really stand out. But yeah, I mean, look, I don't want to fast forward to 2030 because I'm getting older and I want time to stop. But yeah, I'd like to get this decade behind us at this point. It's been a complete fucking disaster.
Now, this is where it gets really weird. Maybe we can pull the HD of that up. I thought we had a copy of this. But here is a letter that is put out officially here. Boy, it's dark in here. And this is put out by the state of Florida, the FSE, and it is just crazy. They are saying that
Fact check the policy. Okay, good question. You talking about Chapter 105, Florida statutes? You know what we could do? Let's pull up. Let's go to Palm Beach Pete. And let's do a Grok fact check. See what Grok's got to say. Let's see what Grok has to say. The letter is fake. It's satirical content created by Palm Beach Pete himself as part of his ongoing joke campaign for Palm Beach mayor in 2028. Okay, well, how do you know it's satirical content? I've looked over Palm Beach. He's never said it's a joke, it's satirical content. I think sometimes Grok will you can't trust every response. No official record or coverage. Searches for any real Florida Division of Elections action, investigation, or letter about Palm Beach DNA testing or candidate eligibility turns up nothing from government sources. Okay, but that doesn't mean anything. News outlets only cover his viral Epstein lookalike persona in satirical run, promising free Botox, bagels, etc., with no mention of any official intervention. Content is absurd and implausible. State election divisions handle candidate qualifying voter rolls and basic eligibility under Florida statutes. They don't get involved in DNA analysis. Well, what if the DNA analysis shows he's Jeffrey Epstein? And then the whole state is in on the cover-up. And they're like, what are you doing, Epstein? We're trying to keep you hidden. You're fucking this up. I don't know, dude. Election officials don't seize private DNA tests or police meme satire. The document itself looks fabricated. Heavy black redactions on names, addresses, including the recipients, are theatrical, not standard for official correspondence. Yeah, but a lot of people will black out any identifying shit. Like, it makes sense you're going to black out the person's name on the letter. The tone mixes legalese with dramatic flair, extraordinary public confusion that doesn't match typical dry government letters. Context from the poster. The not Epstein account in his Instagram is built around Epstein conspiracy theory. No, it's built around the fact that he looks like fucking Epstein, Grok. Grok doesn't understand the context fully, obviously. He posted this right after testing DNA results, framing it as a bit. He's acting like this guy's like a high-level comedian when he's not just somebody that just looks like fucking Epstein and everybody's running with conspiracies. Oh, he's a master troll. No, he's not. He's a fucking retard that looks like Epstein, who's jumping on the fucking the gravy train that came his way because he looks like Epstein. This fits his pattern of leading into viral doppelganger memes for engagement. It's harmless satire, not a real government document. No evidence of any actual DNA drama or election interference. I don't know. I think you're going... Anytime there's anything that's a little conspiracy, Grok is going to shoot it down all the way. Good likelihood it is fake. Okay, that's good likelihood it's fake. Is Palm Beach Pete going to go and do this for attention? It's possible. But I think Grok is a little too confident here, bro. A little too confident.
The state doesn't want them to release the DNA test because it's got anomalies and they have problems with it being released. When have you ever in your life heard of a government saying don't release a DNA test? Read that to people on air.
You got it. Dear Mr. Blank, the Division of Elections has been made aware of credible information that raises serious concerns about your eligibility and suitability to continue as a candidate for mayor of Palm Beach in the 2028 election. Recent DNA analysis by Blank and related inquiries have produced results and have generated extraordinary public confusion regarding your candidate identity and background. These findings call into question key aspects.
Yeah, Dalkini, I mean, there is incentive for him to keep this going. So Dalkini says the gravy train would stop if the DNA proved he wasn't Epstein, so he won't release it. I agree. There's no reason for him to debunk these conspiracies because, I mean, I'm sure that's the money he got from Stake. He's all of a sudden getting a big following. Like, how many followers is this motherfucker? He's got 26,000 followers.
Pride 68 super chatted $4.99. Why'd I only hear the piano music when streaming on my phone versus TV? Love the piano, by the way. I hope this isn't a public schizo moment.
It's probably because of how low it is, bro. And if I don't know, you're only hearing it on your phone or you're only hearing it on the TV. I mean, it's probably has to do with the speakers, and who knows, bro? Who knows? But it's very, very low to not upset the people that get annoyed. I forget what what it's called, but some people, if there's like any music in the background, like all of a sudden they go deaf and they can't hear. They can't like focus on the words coming out of people's mouths. It happens to older people quite a bit. I know my dad's that way. And like he would always, like anytime he'd listen to music, he'd listen to it so fucking low. And I'm like, how can you even enjoy it this low? And then every time he'd get in my car and like the music would come on, he'd be like, holy shit, it's so loud. I'm like, I don't know. I like music loud. That's how I enjoy it. But everybody's different. But yeah, 26,000 followers. He's getting sponsorships from gambling websites. Yeah, he's definitely got an incentive to keep this thing going.
Aspects of your campaign and directly impact the integrity of the electoral process and public confidence in potential elected officials. The Florida Division of Elections will assume full responsibility for conducting and overseeing all future analysis relating to these findings, rather than relying on independent laboratory results. We may require your participation in additional DNA collection and testing procedures as part of this official review.
You like the flu one? Yeah, Amanda, I mix it up so it's not the same song the whole time, but here you go. This is the one with the flutes. Just for you, Manda.
As state agency responsible, blah, 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 Chapter 105, Florida statutes, we strongly advise that you immediately withdraw your candidacy. Voluntary withdrawal at this stage would allow you to address these matters privately. Is he Jeffrey Epstein? While minimizing disruption to the electoral process. What is going on? They want a written response. What's your take on that?
Well, I was going to start the hour with that. That's why I was chomping a bit to get here. And it's in the news now. It's confirmed that the state elections board came out and said, you need to drop out with what.
Is it in the news now and confirmed? Good. That's a good screenshot of Alex there. He looks like he's like somebody's grabbing his balls or something, bro. So, I mean, if it's confirmed now that this is an actual letter from the elections board, I don't know, Alex, are we sure it's confirmed?
It's confirmed that the state elections board came out and said, you need to drop out with what we found here.
Spooky.
And are we in a Twilight Zone episode? I mean, how do you start the segment? The state board of elections found out that Palm Beach Pete, that they're saying Jeffrey Epstein was doing a DNA test for the private company. They said, we're taking over. We're not allowing that. They don't have the right to do that. We suggest you drop out to take care of your problems. Right. What the hell is this?
I think you have something for it. It's liberal. It's too weird. And all these events are just a little too weird. I don't know. I didn't think he was Epstein, but now.
I like Alex doing a show with his son, with Rex. I think it's a good combo.
I mean, did they find out like he's a Martian or something, or he's a dog?
Yeah, he's from Krypton.
No, they found out he's a fucking clone, Alex. He's a clone that escaped Zorro Ranch, bro.
He's the Down syndrome version of Kal-El,
Well, please get him on the show. He said he would come on yesterday. I mean, what in the world is going on here?
Right. Well, I mean, it's kind of macabre. Like the whole concept of a guy, laughing at the idea that he looks something like the world's most famous, notorious pedophile.
Not just laughing, he's making bank, bro.
Ever exist?
He doesn't. He looks like 95%. I mean, you know how many? Why does a hybrid?
Getting thousands message a day.
Have you ever watched like the Westminster Dog Show? I know you have.
Of course, with you.
We watch it a lot.
On bended knee.
No, that's your grandmother. But yeah, we'll go over there. Usually, I don't do it anymore. But
no, back in the day, we used to do it when I was little. You can't deny that.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah. We almost always watch the Westminster Dog Show.
Go ahead.
At least my mom likes to watch it. So we watched it many times. Did you ever notice that they always have the black lab, and every year it looks the same, even though it's a different dog?
Sure.
That's what Ashkenazi Jews are extremely inbred, and that's just a fact. And I mean, if you go to Palm Beach, you'll probably see like 100 dudes look like Jeffrey Epstein today.
Well, Palm Beach Pete, his face looks like a skull in the way that Epstein's does not. Epstein kind of looks like Mr. Peanut. So it's kind of like a little bit of a skull shape difference that I see.
Yeah, I agree.
The top of the head on Palm Beach Pete's not as big.
Yeah, it's not. He doesn't.
And the teeth are very similar. But I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, I'm sure back in the ancestors, back in Poland, that's where the Russian Jews are really Polish Jews. They left Russia about 400 years ago. I mean, I guarantee you they're related, but it's not. It's like, look, that black lab looks like my black lab died 20 years ago. Well, it's a breed.
Is this not full idiocracy? But then you have to say,
I don't know, Corey. Alex Jones says it's fucking confirmed. I don't know if it is confirmed yet, though. I don't know.
What's the deal with the DNA test?
I still think the most likely explanation is somebody's trolling him or he's trolling us. Palm Beach Pete, that is.
I know. Well, I mean, since when does an election commission say we're taking over your DNA testing, and we suggest you drop out and handle?
Maybe he's a Nephilim, you know. Maybe he's one of the lost peoples.
This came in.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I hope he gets him on here and he can actually drill down on it. So yeah, Nick Fuentes is. It looks like there's a little friction between old Nick Fuentes and Alex Jones over JD Vance. Because Nick is in that group that just like they're never going to give JD Vance a chance. I'm not as I'm very skeptical of JD Vance, but I'm not in the group where it's like, oh, there's no way I'd ever vote for him. I mean, we'd have to see how things shake out.
At Polish Pride 68 super chatted $9.99. Damn it, Alex, leave Poland out of this.
Yeah, you Poles with your big dicks. I don't know where I heard that, but I heard the people in Poland have giant dicks. I don't know, man. I'm always jealous of people with big dicks, that's for sure. Thank you for the $10, Poland. Polish Pride. Thank you, brother. But yeah, so apparently there's, man, I don't know, a little bit of friction here.
The big news is that Tucker Carlson, in an interview with Alex Jones, clarified that, yes, of course, he will be supporting JD Vance in 2028. Big surprise. So we'll talk all about that. We'll get into that as well. Alex Jones is right there with them. And I love Alex, and he's my guy, and he's the #1 OG. But it's like, bro, we can't keep falling for it. How do we keep falling for it? Every year, every cycle. Well, you hear what Trump's been saying?
So if it comes down to Gavin Newsom and JD Vance, I know a lot of people are like, well, I'm just not going to vote. Okay, well, that's your right. But you're telling me there's not one clear cut that's better than the other? You're just going to hate on JD Vance because, like, that's why people keep falling for it. Because it turned out to be Trump or fucking Kamala, Trump or Biden, Trump or Hillary. Like, every election cycle comes down to, like, okay, I got to vote against this guy. It's not really a vote for this guy. It's more of a vote against this guy. And it's going to come down to that shit again, dude.
Lately, sounds pretty good. Oh, you hear what Trump's been saying? No, these sounds great. I think it's going to be a golden age. No, really, I think it'll actually be different this time. Wait a second, they're bombing Iran? What is going on? I can't believe this turn of events. Wait a second, did you hear what JD Vance just said? Sounds pretty good. I think this time it's going to be different. It's really going to be a golden age. Wait, you're telling me that his chief of staff is a Tikva Fund fellow and a Jew? And David Sachs is going to be his chief of staff in the White House? Who could have predicted that? It's just so it's so tiresome. Sometimes we just gotta realize we're being played for suckers.
Yeah, I mean, it's your choice, plural blue. I mean, you could vote or not vote, but the people that are still going to vote, they're going to have to, that's going to be the decision at the end of the day. It's either this crazy woke Democrat or this crazy fucking warmongering Republican. Which one's worse? People, I mean, that's the decision people make every fucking election cycle, bro. A lot of people are going to decide to stay home, but a lot of people are still going to vote, and that's going to be the decision. Is do I want Gavin Newsom or do I want JD Vance? And I mean, to me, it's very clear which one's worse. I mean, you could say they're both bad, but one's definitely worse than the other.
I mentioned this earlier. Nick on Monday after Tucker says he's leaving the Republican Party. Well, that doesn't mean you're not ever going to support a candidate here or there. So that's kind of a straw man. But he did predict that Tucker would come out for Vance. Well, I didn't know he'd done that. I had Tucker on.
Right.
Yes, and I said, well, what about Vance? He's way better on the war, and he's not a neocon like Rubio. Rubio's very well spoken, but I'm really worried about him. And he said, no, I'm still going to support Vance. And not just Fuentes, but a bunch of the leftist people said, look at the hypocrite Tucker. Oh, now he's back with Republicans. No, he's not. And just because I've been mad at Trump for over a year and saying he can be 25th Amendmented, next time he says Iran as a culture will cease to exist, they will never return as a people. There'll be one giant glowing crater. Those are statements.
Yes.
I said if he keeps doing that 25th Amendment, that's genocide talk.
Right.
Now he backed off of that. The point is that engaging it is a good thing. And look, Fuentes can say he's not going to vote Republican, he's not going to vote Democrat, sit it out. The Democrats, I still think, are decidedly just as bad. The Republicans are overtly controlled by Israel more than the Democrats. The Democrats in reality are as well. I really think you should look at each candidate and know who they are and support America First Republicans and then not support people like Lindsey Graham. What do you think, Rex?
I think it's time to demand more from our political class. I think us on the right, we've traditionally done that. I mean, you look at Trump coming to power in 2016, that was basically a referendum on the Iraq War. Right. So I think in that same spirit now in 2026, we have to come forward and say, who is going to be our champion? Who is going to represent us? More importantly than that, who can we trust? And I think it's about people that have made the hard decisions to do things that are very uncomfortable. I take Joe Kent at that. I take Thomas Massie at that. I take MTG at that. And you know what? I'm harshly critical of Vance and I do not support him. But him coming out against the war, him being especially being used as the envoy, as the messenger, as the man in negotiations. And being blamed. Well, the thing is, like, he's taking enormous political risk by doing that.
Like right now, if there was a primary and it was Joe Kent, Thomas Massie, JD Vance, you know, I don't know who else you throw in there. I'd probably lean towards Kent. I probably would. I like Massie. Not really stoked on JD Vance, although he seems like probably the least of the problems with this administration. I'd probably take Kent. That'd be great if we could get Kent through.
And I think that's proof in the pudding that he wants that job. You can see Rubio up there, mum's the word with Rubio. He doesn't move his mouth. He's using his giant ears to detect alien life on other planets, right? You can look at him. He's angry because he wants war. He wants death. He's very upset. You can look at J.D. Vance, whether it's a profit motive or whether it's real. I do think he wants the war.
Well, that's it. The Israel lobby has already said we're done with Trump and Vance. Our new golden boy is the Ferengi ambassador.
Right. And he wants to play dictator in South America, and they'll let him do that.
Yeah, so it's not a lesser of two evils. It's survival here. We're going to vote Gavin Newsom. We're going to vote I think Mondami's running for president. No, I'm not voting for Mondami. I'm not voting for Newsom. And people say, oh, well, you're just going to get screwed by the Republicans. Well, the Republicans are going to screw me with some lubrication, not with a cactus.
I think what's important to realize is that Trump isn't running in 2028. We're going to have Rubio, Vance.
I agree. We need to move on from Trump.
Yeah,
That's why I think I'm not glad he went sideways, but it's a healthy side effect of the going sideways that we can demystify this guy.
Think about how the 2024 Democratic Party was shattered. Think about how their coalition was broken, and think about how they have been able to rebuild somewhat because of the failures of this administration.
And they've come back pure commie.
Yeah, and we have to demand more because the thing is like it's really a douchebag behavior to come out to your electorate and say, hey, we didn't do any of the stuff you voted for. We didn't do no new wars, didn't do low inflation, didn't bring American jobs back.
It's a game that can only be won by not playing. I don't agree with that, Plural Blue. What do you solve by not voting? It's like, are they going to not hold the election? When Gavin Newsom wins, is he not going to become president because you didn't vote? Are you not going to have all of the fucking garbage policies that corrupted and destroyed California now nationwide because of what does not voting solve? I don't think it solves anything. It doesn't. I mean, explain to me what not voting solve. What is that going to change? Not voting. Is that going to make them? They're going to all of a sudden the political class is going to behave better because we didn't vote? No, they're going to be like, great. It's going to be even easier to fucking win these elections now.
Do mass deportations, but hey, you still have to vote for us because we're better than the
getting out there and doing work. Find the candidate that you think is good, that you trust, whether it's a Massie or whoever the fuck it is, and support him as much as you can to help him get him over the fucking get him in there and get him to win. That's the move, not just dropping out completely, because dropping out completely solves nothing.
Democrats. Well, that's true. It shows your coalition is weak. What are we? Are we?
Yeah, but Rex, the political class, the neocon rhinos, they want you to take the ball and go home. We got a 96%. Let me finish.
You won't have blood on your hands, so you won't feel stupid when the politician isn't the best politician in the world, like what happens every single time. I mean, I don't know, man. Again, you have the right to not vote, but to act like that's going to solve anything other than like, I'm going to feel better about myself because I didn't vote for this piece of shit. Well, yeah, okay, well then you might get a worse piece of shit. Right? And if you do that, then you have like no right to complain when the piece of shit candidate wins. Right? So when Gavin Newsom becomes president and everybody can steal $2,000 worth of shit before they're in trouble, and they make chopping kids' dicks off like a fucking universal constitutionally protected right, and you go to jail because you call a she a he, or like, I mean, you can't complain about it then, because you had the option to vote for the other side that, yeah, they might be terrible in so many ways as well, but they're not as terrible as the other side. And that's, I mean, people don't want to acknowledge the lesser of two evils, the reality of that. But yeah, in that case, you can't complain when we get a Gavin Newsom come in and completely destroy the country.
Down on people coming across the border. We got a lot of internal deportations. Then the riots got so bad that Trump calculated to fully pull back. And so, okay, so I know what Fuentes says, and I get the point. I don't agree with it overall. You let the Democrats win the midterms. Generally, that gives the next Republican a better shot.
Right.
But then Fuentes is saying he's not going to be for Vance. Vance is clearly, out of the Republican field, the only guy that's half decent. Now, I would support RFK Jr. as a Republican or Tulsi Gabbard over Vance.
Well, I think it's the RFK Jr. model. What happened with RFK Jr.? He runs as a Democrat. They're not going to let him win, so he drops out, runs as an independent, and then 1 out of 10 people in the country say, hey, I'm going to vote for RFK Jr. I think we can carry that forward, and in the same way we had a referendum on the Iraq War.
I mean, if we could get everybody together to vote for an independent candidate, I think that would be the biggest game changer. Is if like all of a sudden they realize, oh, holy shit, we have to actually now worry about independent candidates winning. I wish we could do that. I wish we could fucking just find some fucking base fucking badass and get them over the edge, put them over the top as an independent. But people, I mean, it's just never happens in this country. But I think that would be huge if we could do that.
Or in 2016.
I mean, I think RFK or Tulsi running as a third party will pull from Republicans, not Democrats.
Well, I think they should run as a Republican, of course, and hopefully win as a Republican. But if, if they're up there and Rubio and Vance are able to play games and keep...
No, not voting is not a vote against both. Not voting is not voting. Not voting it doesn't send a message. You're not proving anything. You're I mean, the idea that, oh, I'm not going to vote, that's going to send a message, and it's nothing. You're literally doing nothing and saying my doing nothing is doing something. Like, no, again, you have the right to not vote. I'm not gonna hold it against you. But let's not pretend like not voting is gonna change the world.
Them from getting that nomination, they should run as independent.
At Leroy.45 long super chatted $5, 143 watching, 53 likes. Show some respect, Bishes.
Well, you heard him. If you haven't smashed the thumbs up, please do. Please do. Thank you, Leroy. Thank you, brother.
I'm saying is, at the end of the day, third-party candidates act like parliamentary spoilers in our two-party system. Our system has problems, but it's the best system there is compared to the parliamentary manipulations you see everywhere, where groups with 15% approval rating stay in power through parliamentary coalitions.
I won't argue with
Look at Netanyahu. Look at Keir Starmer and Labour. Look how they keep AfD out in Germany. I mean, the parliaments are a joke, okay? They were the first system after Kings, and then we got our system, and I'm sure something better can come. When somebody explains it to me, that's great. And I'm not disagreeing with you overall.
Sure.
I'm just saying it's easy to say, screw everybody, I'm done, and then just sit there and bitch. They want me off the air because I've always gone in to take over the Republican Party and to put our ideology of 1776 in there, because ideology wins. We just can't oppose the globalists.
No, Alex, what you need to do is not vote and do nothing. That's how you win. I mean, come on, guys. I understand the sentiment of not voting. I understand it because I'm black-pilled like everybody else, but logically, it's just, come on, guys. There's no way to spin not voting as some fucking solution to anything. It's not.
We have to then have an ideology that is better than theirs, that sells. You can't just be against a product. You've got to have a product to run against it. You can't just say I'm against that race car driver and then not put your own NASCAR in on the. You can't just be playing football and then not have your 11-person team. Since we mentioned Nick Fuentes, here's Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes, he doesn't talk like this, but now what if he became Mark Levin? We switched their brains. He's like, oh, Alex, I love Alex, and we love you too, Nick, but what are you doing sucking the wiener at J.D. Vance? Well, are you for Rubio? Or, no, you're just done with them all. You're going to get conned by him again? I didn't get conned. I thought Trump did better than I thought the first 6 months. Then I've been on his ass. But, I mean, would J.D. Vance be better than Rubio? Would he be better than Mondami? Answer my question, Nikki. But let's go ahead and go to Nikki Fuentes. Here it is.
The big news is that J.D. Vance, Tucker Carlson, in an interview with Alex Jones, clarified that yes, of course, he will be supporting J.D. Vance in 2028. Big surprise. So we'll talk all about that. We'll get into that as well. Alex Jones is right there with them. And I love Alex, and he's my guy, and he's the #1 OG. But it's like, bro, we can't keep falling for it. How do we keep falling for it? Every year, every cycle. Well, you hear what Trump's been saying lately? Sounds pretty good. Oh, you hear what Trump's been saying? No, these sounds great. I think it's going to be a golden age. No, really, I think it'll actually be different this time. Wait a second.
Could be the worst thing that we get from Trump being, falling way short of what we hoped he would be. Is he's going to fucking blackpill so many people that we need to actually be involved, because we can't just give up and go, oh, things didn't go the way I wanted, so I'm gonna take my ball and go home. No, we gotta try again. We gotta get somebody more hardcore, somebody younger, somebody who's hopefully the real fucking deal this time. And I don't know, that probably will be the worst part of Trump, is like it discourages so many of the people who got involved from getting involved again because they feel burnt. It's like, this is life, bro. I don't know if you know how life works, but life likes to fuck you over, bro. Life likes to take your plans and shit on them and then laugh in your face. Do you give up? Do you go, oh, I didn't like it anywhere, I'm done? It's like, no, you keep fucking trying, dude. That's all. That's all you can do in life.
Bombing Iran? What is going on? I can't believe this.
Polish Pride 68 super chatted $1.99. Massey losing was demoralizing to how much dollar votes.
Yeah, it is. I also kind of wonder if there was a little bit of some shenanigans going on in that election. But I don't know. Yeah, it was. I mean, there's so much demoralizing shit right now. But again, you have to push through that shit. I know it's tempting to just be like, oh, things aren't going well, so the right thing is just to do nothing and drop out and say fuck everybody and fuck you. And it's like, no, actually the right thing in life is to continue moving forward and continue trying, even in the face of defeat and failure and disappointment. You keep going. That's being a man.
Turn of events. Wait a second, did you hear what J.D. Vance just said? Sounds pretty good. I think this time it's going to be different. It's really going to be a golden age. Wait, you're telling me that his chief of staff is a Tikva Fund fellow and a Jew? And David Sachs is going to be his chief of staff in the White House? Who could have predicted that?
Okay, so are you supporting Massey then? Because this is where we're at. We got to do the primary first, right? So figure out the candidate that you trust. If it's Massey, then do everything you can to get him over the top. So we don't got to make a decision between a J.D. Vance and a fucking a Gavin Newsom or a fucking Mamdani. We got to fucking, start working your ass off right now to get Massey over the top. If he's even going to run for president, I don't think he's, I think a lot of people are assuming he is, but we don't know.
It's just so, it's so tiresome. Sometimes we just gotta realize we're being played for suckers here. So,
okay, so in fairness to Nick, he's not overall completely wrong. Nick did call it a year before the election that he would go to war with Iran. He didn't do it the first time. I thought Trump would do better, but I knew it was a threat, and I said that, and I agreed, because I knew the Israel lobby was even stronger this time, because the Democrats were gotten so weak. Trump didn't know what he was doing before, kind of went in on his own.
Super chatted $2.
That time it played it.
I got to pass out for work. Jesus bless you all.
I wonder why you didn't play it last time. Have a good night, Flatman. Enjoy your work, brother.
Israel back groups kind of came in to give him the lay of the land and be his guide, to Lewis and Clark, and tried to end up becoming the boss. But I wasn't naive about all this. I was concerned the whole time, and I've been saying, let's get in there and get Trump to course correct.
I mean, let's be real, okay? Yes, Trump has not been fucking everything we want him to be, okay? Can you imagine the timeline if Hillary Clinton won? You think we wouldn't have had wars as well? You think the war wouldn't have been even worse with Russia or some shit like that? So, okay, so yes, Trump sucks. He's, probably we're in a better position than we would have been with Hillary Clinton. I don't know. Maybe you deny that, but I think Hillary Clinton would have been a fucking disaster. Okay, we got Joe Biden, and then we got Kamala. Do you think things would be better if Kamala was president? So it's like, if you don't make the decision of the lesser of two evils, you're condemning people to more evil, right? So instead of 1 or 2 problems, you have now 30 fucking problems. That's simple math. That's simple reality. That's why people make the fucking difficult decision of voting for, you know, the lesser, the turd that smells the best. The turd that stinks the least is who people vote for. And I know it's not fun. Everybody wants to feel like they voted for somebody who's great and represented them great and they're proud. And it's like, it's just, that's not reality, man. Unfortunately.
Get off of Israel's control. That's not me being reconned by Trump. That's me in there battling to get him back on track. And when we do that, it at least moves the...
It would be the same, plural of blue. I don't agree with that, buddy.
Sometimes
I think for as bad as Trump has been, it would be even worse if we had a timeline where it was Clinton. I don't know if Biden still would have won. It probably would have been 2 terms of Clinton. And then, you know, who knows, whoever would have been running this time, probably, I doubt it would have been Kamala, but you know what I'm saying. The thing is, we'll never know what that timeline is, but we do know what Democrats believe in. We do know they're fucking pro-censorship. They're all ramped up about, you know, you say the wrong word and you're kicked off the fucking internet. They're not the anti-war they're going to run as if they're the anti-war side. They're not. But I don't know, man. I think it'd be hard for me to really believe that it would be exactly the same. I think it'd be hard to believe that.
Completely back. So, Nick, that's a misrepresentation. Now, saying again that I would rather have a J.D. Vance over a Marco Rubio, I mean, because there's no Democrat candidate I would even vote for. I understand your thought process. Punish them. I have a different thought process of get what I can get and then lobby more and more and get better candidates in the future. So
that's, to me, I mean, that's the not giving up move. You can give up. You can go, I'm done. I'm taking my ball, or you can fucking keep fighting. Which one is it?
It's really overall a straw man. Now, I'm not mad at Nick. I'm not saying he's wrong. I get his perspective, but we're not naive. We're not being suckered again. That's not what's happening here.
Hi, folks. Doc Bigley here.
I think the guy who makes these videos was on the last episode. Some of these fucking AI videos are pretty fucking good. Pretty funny as well. What else did we have here? Tim Dillon, Joe Rogan discuss why Israel's anti-terrorism response took so long on October 7th. Holy shit, are you allowed to talk about this, Joe? Are you allowed to talk about this?
By the way, October 7th was inhumane, but I shouldn't have to keep doing that.
Of course you shouldn't have to do that, but it's also October 7th. You know, the people that got killed, those were the ravers, right?
Right.
So those are the people that were anti-Netanyahu.
Totally.
Those are not the people that were
They also killed, I think, probably a lot of, they dragged people out of their houses.
Oh, they killed a ton of people that
it's
were
a bad situation there.
Look, it's also like, why did it take so long to respond to that?
Joe, I don't know if you can say that, Joe. Uh-oh. How long before Ben Shapiro is making anti-Rogan fucking posts here?
Well, this is another very interesting, very important question.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people that say it's a state the size of New Jersey, and the security failures they're pretty wild, and there hasn't been a real investigation into them, and Netanyahu's kind of prevented that. And they've kind of made it illegal to question that.
Voting is giving up. God, you guys are you're twisting yourself into pretzels to make sense of how not doing anything is the answer. That's so dumb. Oh, you're voting. Let me read that again. Voting is giving up. Okay, yeah. Whatever, dude. Don't vote. Stay home. Get uninvolved. Let everything happen, and you have no say over it. And if you think that's the winning solution, God bless you. Okay. For me, I think continuing to fight and not giving up is the answer. Not voting is giving up. That's not solving anything.
Israel, people were like,
but you have the right to do it. And I'm not going to judge you, but I'm not going to sit here and suck your dick for it and act like you're making some brave decision by just not voting and not getting involved and not fighting for good candidates. Right? And then people are like, well, Thomas Massey, they'll never let him. So you're just going to give up because, Thomas Massey, they'll never let him win. Well, he's never going to win if you don't get off your fucking ass and fight for it. That's one way he's never going to win. People said the same thing about Trump. Oh, there's no way Trump would ever win. But of course, now Trump's a puppet, and they all planned to have Trump win. It was all along. No, they didn't want fucking Trump to win. And we got him in there. And the results from getting him in there is that we all got fucked over very hard on the internet because they want to make sure that doesn't happen again. And that is a reality. No matter how shitty Trump is now, no matter how much he sold out, Trump was the outsider that they did everything they could to keep out. But we were able, because we showed up and voted, we were able to get him in. Now, okay, he turned out to be not as fucking great as we wanted him to be. But it's still, Trump does kind of prove voting does matter. Otherwise, we would have fucking Jeb Bush. That's probably who would have won. If it wasn't for Trump, it probably would have ended up being Jeb Bush. Because I don't think Hillary would have won. I think whoever the Republican that came out on that primary would have definitely won. And it was probably going to be Jeb fucking Bush.
Writing about that and going, what the hell's going on? But like,
it's illegal?
Well, they've made a law, and you can look this up, about things like this in Israel, because during wartime, they haven't had have they had an election?
No.
Since October 7th?
No. Right?
Right. They haven't had an election.
Because of the war, right?
Right. And the Ukraine hasn't had an election. Nobody's had an election.
Yeah, and also like all the investigations into Netanyahu are sidelined as well. So it's very convenient.
So if I'm living in a country and the leader of my country just wants to be in a war forever, there's no democracy?
What if only 10% of people voted and the government was weak as fuck as a result? How would 10% of the people voting make the government weak? How does that remove any power from the government? It removes no. It doesn't matter if it's 1% of the population voting. Whoever wins, wins, and they have the power. Whether it's 1% or 10% voting.
Well, you know, Clinton's.
At Leroy.45 long super chatted $10. Sticking your head in the sand doesn't make you a big man.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that thinking, because I'm there too. Like, I'm frustrated, I'm fucking pissed off, and there's a part of me that wants to just go, fuck it, why do I care? I'm just gonna I'm dropping out and to fuck these people. Like, I understand that, you know? But I think a lot of people are trying to justify it as if it's like, it's the right thing to do. This is what's gonna change the government, you know? And that's just cope, bro. You just don't want to fucking do it anymore because you feel burned. You're pissed off and you got blackpilled. That's the reality. And like, I understand that, but don't act like, oh, me not voting is really going to change the system. No, it ain't going to do shit, bro.
Said that. Clinton said,
if you think voting doesn't do shit, not voting does even less shit.
Said that about Netanyahu. He said he wants to maintain a war. I mean, he said it openly in an interview.
Right. And
so
then
he
an
can
intern.
maintain power.
Politicians absorb votes to make them more powerful, like vote vampires.
And then a nice chubby intern showed up.
Oh, I wish.
And a nice
I could go back in time
intern
before
showed
the
up.
internet and all these busybodies was around. He was the first guy to go viral.
So I mean, that's the thing. You don't have elections. You don't have people looking into things. And by the way, that's not the only thing that should be looked into. Look into everything.
Right.
Where are the 9/11 docs? What happened?
Right.
Can we know? Why can't we know anything? Why can't we know anything?
Yeah.
You know?
This is all of it. It's like,
we're all adults. Release it. Let's see what happened.
But don't
I'm
you
sure
think
it's
that this
fine.
is-
I'm sure no one did anything naughty.
I think this is all kind of breaking, though, and I think that
It's
one of the
breaking.
things that's happening with AI is like all these things that they are protecting us from. We're gonna find out that stuff.
Well,
I don't know, Joe. You got to be careful talking about October 7th, bro. Breaking: Israel's defense minister Katz declares Israel will not withdraw from South Lebanon. Even if the U.S. demands it, we will not listen to the U.S. With Netanyahu, Katz, and IDF chief also issuing a joint statement that the IDF will continue to act decisively in Lebanon, contradicting Trump's claims of the ceasefire holding and the stop of attacks. Israel is currently bombing southern Lebanon with Israeli drones over Beirut in the last few hours. There's no ceasefire. There will be no final U.S.-Iran deal. Well, that's bad. That's unfortunate. And Trump... So when J.D. Vance went to that fucking meeting with Iran to try to work out, begin the steps of working out a deal, Trump started sending fucking messages about how they better get in line or they might not even make it home alive. And then so Iran was like, he's threatening our lives. We're going home. It's like, God, why is Trump such a fucking idiot sometimes, bro? Just shut the fuck up. Like he just ruined his own fucking peace deal. Extraordinary detail on Trump-Bibi relationship. I keep seeing reporting about this, and I'm like, I don't know how much to believe this, but Trump told Netanyahu he was sick of his antics. I've done everything to protect you. You better fucking go along with this. It's been going on for too fucking long. Everybody's sick of you, Bibi, Trump said. All the Jews are sick of you. Even the 2 Jews on this call are sick of you. Trump added, referring to Kushner and Witkoff, you can't back out of this. I'm the best friend Israel ever had. Everybody hates you, and I've stood by you, he continued to shout. I'm telling you, Trump yelled, this is a great deal for Israel. Others later described the call as epic. I don't know if I believe this, bro. I don't know if I believe this. And it's like, there's a certain point in Trump where you got to realize just talking tough isn't enough. And a lot of times, all your tough talk is just like, everybody knows it's empty if there's nothing behind it, right? Like, if you're not going to hold Israel accountable when they fuck up the peace deal, just yelling at people is not going to solve it. Just yelling at Iran, like, you better fucking work with us or I'm going to kill you. Like, that's not going to solve it either. I think he really thinks, like, I just got to talk tough and everybody's scared of me and they're going to listen to me. It's like, no, dude, doesn't work anymore. Ben Shapiro throws a fit over J.D. Vance's small talk at negotiations in Switzerland. We love Pakistan. We love Pakistan, do we? Do we love Pakistan? Oh, what do we got to go to war with Pakistan next? Because there was like a couple people said death to Israel and Pakistan. Now that's the next one. After Iran, it's going to be Pakistan. I have a feeling like Iran's not the last fucking war these guys won. It's like these guys won fucking like total world war. Total war in the Middle East against every Muslim country. That's kind of what it feels like.
Here he was talking about how awesome Pakistan, they're just the best. They're a Chinese cutout gang. Pakistan is in the negotiations because the Chinese wanted them there. They're an Islamist dictatorship. This is ridiculous.
Are you about the Pakistani role, especially?
Very good. We love Pakistan. Thank you.
What is he going to be like? Oh, I hate Pakistan. Fuck Pakistan. What do you expect him to say, Ben? When Pakistan's the mediator trying to get the peace deal done, you think he's going to be like, yeah, fuck Pakistan. Fuck them bitches. I don't know,
We
Ben.
love Pakistan.
What do you want, Ben?
He says as he walks through him, we love Pakistan. Do we? Do we love Pakistan? Like here he was praising the Pakistanis.
Yeah, I don't know.
To
What's the problem here?
Field Marshal in Pakistan, Asim Munir. I will say that since Field Marshal Munir welcomed us with the Prime Minister in Islamabad, I have joked that I have 2 very, very important people in my life, an Indian and a Pakistani. The Indian is my wife, and the Pakistani is Field Marshal Munir. And I've probably talked to Field Marshal Munir more than I've talked to anybody else over the last 3 months.
That's magical. Isn't that nice? Isn't that wonderful? No, it's weak and ridiculous. That field marshal has literally called for the destruction of the state of Israel, which is our ally in this war, unless you forgot.
So I guess we're supposed to go in there and say, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Just everybody's just, we just got to make enemies with everybody, huh, Ben? I don't know, man. How long until they're fucking trying to get us to go to war with Pakistan, bro? Ben Shapiro discusses VP's Vance visit to Switzerland. He argued that it made the U.S. look weak by sympathizing with Pakistan and praising their leaders, failing to defend Israel against false genocide claims. Not false. They're not false. That's the problem. And letting the Qatari negotiator dictate what he should type on the computer. I don't know. We'll listen to a little more, Ben. It's hard.
He says denuclearizing, which would mean no nuclear program. And instead, he corrects himself to say no nuclear weapon, which means they will retain a nuclear program. Again, that was not what these talks were started to do. By the way, so this is going all over the Twitter sphere this morning, is this idea that this is a magical, whoa, Iran is going to allow the IAEA back in. So, first of all, we should point out, Iran allowing the IAEA back in so that they can have coordinated visits is Iran giving people the runaround. Also, the much hated JCPOA, which was a pile of trash from the Obama administration, says, quote, the IAEA will be requested to monitor and verify the voluntary nuclear-related measures as detailed in this JCPOA. The IAEA will be requested to provide regular updates to the Board of Governors as provided for in this JCPOA to the UN Security Council. The IAEA is mentioned 117 times in the JCPOA. Oh, and by the way, it was in the JCPOA, and now the vice president is saying it's an amazing thing, and the Iranians say it's not even happening. Quote, the entry of inspectors from the IAEA into Iran contradicts the understanding agreement and may cause significant damage. Until now, the issue of granting approval for the entry of agency inspectors into Iran has not been approved by the Iranian negotiation team.
No, so we got to keep the war going. Got to keep bombing people. Got to keep the Strait of Hormuz closed. Bro, what don't you understand? We're not really in a great position to negotiate anything right now.
$1.99. Shapiro's eyebrows 2028.
I don't understand how, I mean, I think he used to trim his eyebrows and now he's just letting them go. He's just like, ooh, the thicker and bigger my eyebrows are, the more manly I am. Now, you need to trim them down, Ben. It's a little much. It's a little much.
That is what Tasnim, the Iranian news agency, is saying. Also, by the way, we have now released openly billions of dollars in oil money to go to the Iranians in frozen funds. So things are going great. This is not an accomplishment.
Well, that's what happens when you get into a stupid war that you can't win, Ben. Because then when it becomes too costly, then when you have to make peace, you have to end up giving up things that, you know, you don't want to give up, but you have to make peace. But you guys just want to keep fighting because you don't give a fuck about all the consequences of the rest of the world because you guys are just in complete fucking world domination mode, bro. Good luck with that.
It is not. Iran's saying, sure, come on in. We'll allow you to look at the things we allow you to look at. And then we won't allow you to look at the things we don't allow you to look at. And also, we'll rebuild our ballistic missiles, which are not part of the negotiations. And we'll rebuild our terror support, which is not part of the negotiations. And yeah, we'll keep tolling the Strait of Hormuz. Like, what are we even doing here? What are we even doing here? The idea that
we're trying to end a stupid war that you fuckheads dragged us into. And now we're in a shitty situation where we got to make peace and at least try to get things somewhere close to where they were before we started this stupid war, which is going to be impossible because we don't have the leverage to do that.
Sort of win has been achieved here is unbelievably silly. Not only has it not been achieved in these negotiations.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys know this, but Fuentes comes from the Ben Shapiro fucking... Nick Fuentes seems like he was trained by the same people that trained Ben Shapiro. Because he was a college, like, Republican kid that was blowing up and doing his show. And I don't know, he there's a lot of similarities in the way they talk. Not in what they say, but, like, in their delivery and, like, their presence and all that. Both very polished, obviously.
The vice president looked extraordinarily weak. The optics were I mean, here's the... I saved this.
All right, guys, if I'm just going to lose viewers as soon as I play Ben Shapiro, we're not going to play Ben Shapiro. I'm just going to move on. As soon as I get into anything else, I start losing. Fuck it. We'll see. This is what it's like to work at Taco Bell. As soon as I play Ben Shapiro, everybody fucking leaves. It's like, okay, I guess we're never going to fucking react to anything Ben Shapiro does. For fuck's sake. POV, you didn't lock in after high school. Now, I watched this and it made me realize like how shitty Taco Bell is. Like, pay attention to what they're putting on in this food, okay? Now, that's supposed to be their ground beef. Okay, look how little of the ground beef they put on the actual food. And this is my biggest fucking complaint. Like, even the crispy tacos, it's like all lettuce, cheese, tomato, and then it's like the tiniest amount of fucking beef. How do they get away with this, dude? How do people keep... I mean, look, and this is... Have you ever seen ground beef that looks like that? When I make ground beef, it don't look like that. That looks like some fucking dog food bullshit. And they never put enough cheese. My biggest complaint when I order their nachos, which they're not bad, is that you just end up with a bunch of fucking dry chips on the bottom. It's like, bro, you should put actually what you should do, one layer of chips, you put toppings on that layer, and then you do another layer of chips, and then you put toppings on that layer. So that way, when I get to the chips at the bottom, there's still something on them. And it's not just fucking dry chips, bro. But that's insane. Like, they don't even use a proper spoon for the beef because then you might get too much. They use this weird little, like, miniature spatula looking thing to make sure just to get the right skimpy amount of beef. Look at that. Look at that again. I mean, it's not even real. I don't even. They claim it's like real beef, but it's like meat product. This is what everybody goes so crazy about. This bullshit. This garbage fucking food. And everybody's like, oh, Taco Bell's so good. Really? This is good?
Yeah.
Look, I mean, how the fuck is that? How is that real, dude? Like, look at that tiny little bit of beef that they put on there, bro. It's such a ripoff. That's another thing. Like, it's like anytime you get a burrito or whatever, it's like 80% of what you're eating is just fucking flour tortilla. And look at, put a ton of lettuce. Not gonna go light on the lettuce, right? And I like it because every time I go by my Taco Bell in my area now, it's always empty. There was a few years back where like it was always packed, dude. Every time you went to Taco Bell, there's a huge line. Now every time I go to Taco Bell, it's just dead, bro. I think people are finally figuring it out. They're like, why am I paying these crazy prices for a tiny little sliver of fucking beef? Because that's where the real food is at. Look at that. Look at the beans. Beans, a little bit of the sauce, tiny little bit of meat. Look at that. It's all tortilla, bro.
6306 super chatted $1.43. Order the beef cheese burrito with no rabbit food.
Yeah, do they put a lot of beef then, or is it just the same amount of beef just without the fucking all the filler? I don't know, bro. I mean, I make ground beef at home. I don't know what that is, dude. That's some fucking weird slop looking bullshit. And if I made a fucking burrito like that, and that was the amount of shit I put in the burrito, I'd be like, what's wrong with me? Who does that?
That's the burrito supreme.
I don't know, man. It seems like people are finally figuring out that Taco Bell is complete fucking garbage. President Trump is pushing back on Republican lawmakers who have been speaking out against his Iran deal, like Senator Ted Cruz. Anybody who has been critical of it has to be educated, even if they're friends of mine. Yeah, we'll skip this one. Basically, he talks about how great everything is. This one's pretty funny.
She gets him, and she gets him. And the mother's screaming, darling, I love you, darling. And the father's looking, saying she has no chance. And she's like this, you see,
he's trying to recreate some of the things that like were popular back in the day. Like when he would do stuff like this, it'd be like, oh, look, isn't Trump funny? Now it's just kind of cringe and lame, dude.
Drops him, and she's like devastated for the rest of her life. He gets him.
This other one was actually funny, though. This is like...
All of you have actually...
I can't believe as president in the Oval Office he would do this. Because this is like something I do to a friend of mine who's like getting annoying and like talking too much and you're annoyed, but you don't want to be too much of a dick.
All of you have actually... Chris Wright, please.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. So 141 years ago, Albert Einstein, 121 years ago, Albert Einstein published a paper on
Nobody cares.
Good point.
I never go back.
I mean, that's... I have to admit, that is pretty fucking funny. You can see it in his face. He was like thinking about doing it, and he was like, should I do it? Should I do it? He's like, yeah, I'm going to do it.
Einstein, 121 years ago. Albert Einstein published a paper
Nobody
on
cares.
Good point.
I never go back. And usually they won't catch you. But go ahead.
Published a paper on the photoelectric.
I have to give Trump credit. That was pretty funny. That one was pretty funny. This is also funny. O'Keefe, Netanyahu said his forces are not leaving Lebanon. Who did he tell that to? He said it publicly.
Hey, here's another beauty. What's this one?
Well,
here's a real beauty.
earlier
Go
today,
ahead.
the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said his forces are not leaving Lebanon. That is a sticking point.
Who did he tell that to you?
He said it publicly in Israel.
Well, we're going to take a look at it.
Well, what would you do to make sure that he doesn't?
Well, I'm not going to
sabotage
tell
the
you
deal?
what I'm going to do, but it gets solved. I'm a problem solver. I get problem solved real fast, including with Bibi. Go ahead.
Yeah, how are you going to solve this one, bro? Because it doesn't seem like you solved it. And the time to have solved it would have been, you know, as you came to an agreement, that memorandum of understanding That would have been the time to solve it and pull in Israel and be like, no, you can't do this. You can't do this. But now it's a little too late. They've already fucking continued to strike Lebanon and have already said, we're not going to do what Trump wants us to do. We're going to do what we want to do. So weird how that works. Maybe, dude, we need a term like anti-American. We need something like how the Jews in Israel, anytime you go against something they want as a country, you're anti-Semitic. We need something like that. Like, you're anti-American. I think you just hate Americans, Israel. I think that's what it is. You're anti-American. It doesn't hit the same, does it? You're a racist against Americans, Israel. How about that? But yeah, I don't know. I don't think he can rein in Bibi, dude. I don't think it's going to happen. So yeah, Tucker Carlson says he no longer supports the Republican Party and that is no longer loyal to the United States. He says the GOP puts foreign nations over America and that there's no way he can defend the GOP anymore. Yeah, but then people are calling him out saying, but then you said you're willing to vote for J.D. Vance. I think the key distinction here is like he's not considering himself a Republican. That doesn't mean like you can be an independent non-Republican and still vote for a Republican candidate, but
I would not support the Republican Party. There's no chance I would support the Republican Party. I'm not going to support the Democratic Party. I don't know what I'm going to do. But at this point, how could I or any American voter support a political party that's not loyal to the United States, that puts the interests of a foreign country above those of its own citizens? It's not possible to vote for people like that, and I'm not going to. And I think I voted Republican my entire life. I worked at Fox News, CNN, right. MSNBC. I've been a consistent defender for 35 years of the Republican Party. I mean, very consistent defender. But there's no defending this because it's immoral, and it's exactly the opposite of what a political party in a democracy is charged with doing, which is representing its own voters, its own citizens, its own nation. And they're not doing that. So no, I'm out. And if I'm out, then I think a lot of other people are out. I would not.
So I have to wonder, like, clearly, I think JD Vance and Tucker are on the same page with a lot of things. So the people who are just like completely out on JD Vance, who hate JD Vance, they also hate Tucker. I know Nick Fuentes hates Tucker. There's no doubt about that. But I mean, what if JD Vance ends up being like the most base fucking guy in the campaign? But I don't know. Once you can't trust him, you can't trust him. But I don't know, man. That's why I wish we could turn like the presidency and government into just like a nonstop 24/7 reality TV show. So we can see everything that goes on behind the scenes. Like, did JD Vance fucking really throw a fucking a fit over the Iran war and really fight to stop it? Or did he just go, okay, yes, sir, I'm for the war if you're for it? Like, I'd like to see behind the scenes, like what really went down when it came to that decision. I think a lot of us would. Let's see. I think it's all this other stuff we already got to. Let's see. Did you know there's a video that came out with the case? Fucking was Carmelo Anthony. I always forget that fucker's name. The videos came out. I don't think they were out there before, but essentially, it's pretty clear what happened now. And here's my favorite reporter of all time, Megan, covering it.
Evidence that the jury saw is now finally being released. Not all of it, but a lot of it, before they sentenced him to 35 years in prison for killing Austin Metcalf. And like the bottom line is all the stuff that these agitators who refuse to accept that this guy committed murder is proof positive. I mean, it's just beyond any doubt, never mind a reasonable doubt, what happened here. And like the revisionist history by this activist class is just stomach turning. And you look at this evidence, and we're getting some more descriptions now of the stuff that wasn't shown. It's like the dishonesty of these people is just so patent who want to reframe this. It's absurd. It's absurd. I thank God that the vast majority of the American public understands what happened here, white or black or other color for that matter. And it's just this agitator class, like these folks who are outside of the courthouse down in Texas, and then the more elite Jamel Hill, overly educated types who have spent so much time in the DEI web that they just are entangled in it. They're trapped like a bug in a spider's web. It's inescapable for them. They're going to live their entire life seeing everything through that prism. And unfortunately, we live in this world with them, so we're going to be subjected to the madness too.
I think there are useful idiots who fall into that, where like they adopt that victim mentality. They see everything through the lens of race. Every bad thing that happens to them is because of white supremacy, it's because white people are fucking them over. But I think a big part of it too is just they're just race hustlers, dude. There's money to be made from this shit, and careers are being made just race hustling. And I think a lot of it is just that. And then you have obviously the useful idiots who buy the fucking bullshit. But a lot of it is just grifting. Just about money. I mean, look at Black Lives Matter at the end of the day. What was that about? The people who ran Black Lives Matter got a ton of fucking money, went and bought mansions and shit. It's like, it's a grift, bro. It's a very well-paying grift.
It was an 8-woman, 4-man jury.
Yeah, I saw that. I think I saved the video of Charleston White, but I let me see if I can find it again. But yeah, Charleston White, it was weird that he was fucking supporting him in the first place. But yeah, he turned on him pretty quick.
They reached their verdict after hearing 5 days of arguments and testimony earlier this month. On Friday, Collin County Judge John Roach, the same district judge that oversaw the trial, released some of the trial evidence to the public. But because no cameras were allowed in the courtroom, the public is seeing all of this for the first time, and it came out piecemeal. And of course, because it's a court, they don't release it in like an organized, understandable way. And to be honest, most of the media has been too lazy to actually organize it and present it the way it ought to be. So we got it. The released evidence includes surveillance footage showing chaos minutes after the stabbing. Also a 911 call where you can hear Hunter Metcalf pleading for his brother Austin, the victim, to stay conscious. And Carmelo Anthony telling cops, as we heard right from day one in this case, I'm not alleged. I did it. I'm not alleged. I did. Thank God he said that. Like, who knows where this crazy defense would have gone if he hadn't so clearly admitted it all on camera. I don't know if you're some lunatic out there who's going to paint Carmelo as the victim and Austin as the perpetrator, yeah, you might say he didn't even plunge the knife in. Oh, we would have heard something about how like white people can't tell black people apart. We've heard that before.
What?
But he's there. It's clear as day. He said he did it. They had no wiggle room. So they had to go with self-defense, which was a lie that's still being pushed. And we'll talk about that too. All right, so we're going to walk you through some of the key evidence to try to give you a better understanding of what actually happened that day, notwithstanding the lies that perpetrate the media right now. On your screen here, you can see Austin Metcalf entering the stadium. There he is. Poor guy has no idea what's about to happen to him. The 17-year-old looking like the epitome of health and vigor. Just minutes before his murder, he has no idea his life is about to end. And here's Carmelo walking up to the bleachers from the steps in the middle of the stadium. He's highlighted in this video. He comes up the stairs and heads down toward the tent where Austin Metcalf was standing with his teammates. I've got to say, like throughout this, I don't see like the downpour that necessitated him. He had to go underneath the tent. I kept waiting to see like the monsoon conditions, like where's the wind rattling the top of that tent to where like he had to do this thing that would be.
Put yourself in that situation, okay? You're at a school track meet, and you know that all these schools are there, and they all got their own tents where they're like their little area where they're stationing, and you just go to another school tent and just fucking sit down, and like you don't think that's going to cause a problem? It's kind of provocative. It's like you're provoking a response.
Be considered highly inappropriate under any other circumstance, which is to go into an opposing team's home camp and sit with them. It's not there. He was an agitator. He was trying to prove something. And obviously he was loaded for bear. Before we show you more, I want to remind you what Carmelo's father, Drew Anthony, told that idiot over at the Breakfast Club, Mimi Brown, on June 11th. The most pathetic interview I've ever seen somebody do. You've got the father of a killer. And by the time you were done with that interview, Mimi, you had all but convinced your audience that it was the other way around. Nothing against her personally, just the job she...
Really? It don't seem like that. Seems like you personally have a lot against her, but I get it.
Did that day was hideous. But here's a reminder on what the murderer's father said The surveillance footage, which we had not yet seen, but he had, he said this about what that surveillance footage would show. Watch.
And so the video that you all that they showed in court, it shows him running away from.
Yeah, he ran to a teacher. The teacher said that the teacher he ran to a guy, and the teacher he ran to.
Look at the look on her face. Like she
actually.
This is all fucking acting, bro. Oh, it's so sad. It's so sad. I feel so bad. It's like, yeah, he stabbed and murdered a kid and then ran away from the crime scene. Oh, it's so sad. Yeah, for the kid that got murdered.
He hugged him because Carmelo, he's not like that. He hugged the guy. Like he was freaking out. He hugged the guy. So the guy they was hugging. He was crying hysterically, and
this is all bullshit. He watched the footage and he was like, "Oh, we can kind of spin it to be anything we want."
They tried to paint it as if he was trying to leave, but then in court they said it that he wasn't trying to leave.
Yeah.
OMG. These are what we call lies. That's just so unbelievable. That's not what happened at all. He made a run for it and he was stopped by a teacher who put him in a bear hug to stop him from escaping. He needed a hug. Okay. In addition to what you just heard, there were many rumors on social media that the surveillance footage was going to...
I mean, the balls to go out there after your son murders a kid, to go out there and just play the victim the whole time, rather than just shut the fuck up and go away and just be like, damn, we fucked up we failed our son. He turned into a murderer. Maybe we should get away from the public spotlight. No, we're going to go on and we're going to act like we're the victims. Simply because we have the right skin color to be a victim.
And display a group of boys ganging up on Carmelo. He was surrounded. We heard that before he stabbed Austin in self-defense, terrified. Well, we have the footage that was shown to the jury now. It's a little hard to make out, and we're going to show you a zoomed-in version in just a moment, okay? But screen left, you see a yellow tent. There's a group of students sitting underneath it. Near the top, you see a brief altercation, and that's the moment when Carmelo Anthony stabs Austin Metcalf. You then see a figure highlighted running out of the top of the tent. That's Carmelo Anthony. See him running. He's highlighted here. He runs down the steps. He gets to the bottom of the bleachers, trips and falls. He gets back up and keeps running. He knows what he's done. He runs until he gets to the end of the stadium bleachers and then appears to start walking. Got to play it cool. New people seeing you. Don't want to project panic. At one point, he turns back.
Yeah, he knew he was in the wrong, bro. You're not going to run like that unless you know you're in the fucking wrong.
Toward the stands and then starts running away again. He can see people are coming. And as he's running, you can see people chasing him and pointing at him. He knows what's happening here. It is the equivalent of a car chase, only it's on foot, as the perpetrator.
Yeah, it's hard to... Like, you don't even see it happen. I mean, it's just so quick.
Equivalent of...
Like, there's some... Whatever it is, the stabbing went down right here.
Of a car chase, only it's on foot, as the perpetrator who could...
It doesn't look like he was getting jumped. He was getting bullied. It probably was just simply Austin Metcalf being like, you have to leave. No, I ain't leaving. Fuck you. Okay, come on, you have to leave. And they probably grabbed him and tried to, like a security guard or a bodyguard type thing, pull him out of there. And he was like, no, you touched me. I can now murder you.
Amidst a dastardly deed, tries to get away. Carmelo slows his pace as he walks over toward a group of people. Okay, so to go back to Carmelo's dad, Drew, who's a liar, who tried to say the video doesn't show Carmelo trying to leave. It's a lie. He is fleeing. And the reason he needed to lie is because fleeing a scene, a criminal scene, is admissible in court as consciousness of guilt. And that's exactly what was argued. Because we can all see that's what it is with our own damn eyes. We're about to show you 3 critical up-close videos of what happened under the tent. These were enhanced by Robbie Harvey, a true crime social media journalist on X.
So basically, you just zoomed in the same video. Okay, yeah, it's enhanced. Yeah, you zoomed in.
In this close-up video at the top
In this close-up video, you can see this blur attacks this blur.
Top of the tent, you see Carmelo Anthony walk in and sit down under the tent where the murder occurred. Carmelo runs for another team. Again, there was no reason for him to be inside that tent, and he knew it was provocative to do this. A few minutes later, you see Austin Metcalf get up and move next to where Carmelo Anthony is seated. Witnesses say Austin was trying to get Anthony to leave the team's tent. About 3 minutes later, you see two people appear to push each other. Within seconds, Carmelo is seen. See two people appear to leave the team's tent. About 3 minutes later, you see two people appear to push each other.
It's so hard to see what the fuck's going on there, but it doesn't look like it was that fucking rowdy. Looks like he probably just put his hands on him. And that's all it was. Because I think he said, well, touch me and find out or some shit like that, right?
Within seconds, Carmelo is seen.
I guess you got your manly honor, bro. You showed them keeping it real, bro. Fucking so dumb. Such useless fucking bullshit that could have been avoided.
Seen running out of the top of the tent. By our count, it was about 4 seconds between the pushing and Carmelo running out of the tent. I mean, there was no build-up. There was no long altercation. He shoved a knife in another boy's heart and then made a run for it. After Carmelo ran away from the scene and to the end of the stadium, he's eventually brought back closer to the crime scene by teachers. Not because he wanted to, but because they made him. They made him. According to CBS Texas, Memorial High School athletic trainer, that's where Austin went, Tiffany Whitaker, first stopped Carmelo and then handed him off to Heritage High School head football coach Vincent Hooper. According to journalist Sarah Fields, who was inside the courtroom for the entire trial, Whitaker testified that she got in front of Anthony as he was running, put her hands up to keep him from leaving, and then yelled at Coach Hooper, "Hey, this kid stabbed someone. Don't let him leave," end quote. This is when Coach Hooper put his arms around Carmelo in a hugging fashion to prevent him from leaving the stadium. Quoting.
No, it's because Carmelo was such a loving kid. He just likes to go around hugging people. And occasionally he might stab somebody, but he's a lovely kid. Don't worry.
There, I'm quoting. That's the testimony that was given. He didn't need a hug. What a fucking liar. I'm sorry. The father's a liar. The parents are liars. They hired a lying spokesperson to represent them, a race hustler too, which appears to apply to the parents as well. Not to mention their core supporters and their grandmother, Carmelo's grandmother, who kept chanting racist, biased, racist, biased after the guilty verdict. Why don't you try accepting responsibility, okay? Maybe if you hadn't had such an entitled attitude that's blind to facts, we wouldn't be in this mess to begin with. Your grandson would be free and Austin Metcalf would still be alive.
I agree. The parents have a lot of responsibility in this, and we can't be there to see how he was raised, but we can make some educated guesses. And I think he was raised in this overly racial mentality of like they scare the fuck out of their kids, dude. They really do. It's like their kids grow up in a world where they think like everybody's out to get them, and it's a lot of these parents are responsible.
We also now have the video of Carmelo being taken into custody.
Noob Jets. He might hug you. He might stab you. He always keeps you guessing. That's what we like about Carmelo.
Shortly after all of this
is a true statement.
Where Carmelo Anthony leaves no doubt as to whether he was the one who killed Austin. He tells the officer, "I'm not alleged. I did it." Watch.
It's the alleged suspect. Okay. No, I'm not. I know how it goes. I'm not alleged. I did. Okay.
He sounds like he's so proud of himself, too. Like, what do you mean? In America, if a white person touches a black person, I'm in the right to just murder them for touching me. What are we talking about? Like, I know, we're fucked, bro.
There it is. I mean, honestly, I'm not alleged. I did it. We know. And there's body camera footage from a different officer as Anthony is arrested. You're going to hear him sound emotional when he tells the officer, who had not yet asked him any questions about the crime, quote, "He put his hands on me." Watch.
Okay. Memorial tent over there, guys. All right.
He put his hands on me. I told him not to. He put his hands on me.
Okay. I don't know yet, man.
Kind of ironic that his sweater says fear of God on the back. Because you know who really should fear God? Murderers. Murderers, yeah, you should definitely fear God. It's a little ironic, don't you think?
Honestly. At the end, you hear Anthony ask, is he going to be okay? And the officer says, I don't know yet, man. Carmelo doesn't fully understand that he just committed a murder. And let me tell you something. That I believe those tears. I believe he was upset. I believe it was sinking into him in that moment what he'd done. And this isn't to take agency away from Carmelo Anthony, but I'm sorry, this is the fault of his parents.
Exactly.
This is his parents' fault.
Exactly, Megan.
When a 17-year-old behaves like this, he's been raised wrong. Some severe failure has happened inside the home.
And do you think the parents are ever going to like reflect on how they raised their kid, or are they just going to go, no, fuck that, it's white people. It's them white motherfuckers. That's what the problem is. All these white racists. Like, no, maybe you should take some time and reflect on yourself, okay?
Some sense of entitlement, more than likely some massive chip on one's shoulder that interprets regular teenage slights as existential, as something so offensive and deeply wounding that a man's life must be taken to avenge oneself. Oh, you're a tough guy, aren't you? He was so tough just 5 minutes earlier. Now he's reduced to tears like a crying toddler. Keep in mind, not 1 second of that grieving.
Well, I mean, probably has the emotional intelligence of a toddler, which is, again, a dangerous combination where, you know, as a parent, when you have a fucking teen, a male teen, they're dangerous. So you have to fucking you got to instill some kind of morality and emotional control in them by the time they become a teen. But no, it's kind of the exact opposite. They almost encourage them to be emotionally out of control.
And compare in any way to what Hunter Metcalf was going through in the tent steps away, to the pain and agony that Austin and Hunter's parents were about to receive when they got word what had happened to their son. But
yes, murders can go to heaven. That's true, Preston Pate. But you have to be sincere in your, I mean, if you're Catholic, you got to confess your sins and you got to be sincere in your contrition or whatever. And as a Catholic, you know, you can still go to heaven. I think it's a little weird because I have my aunt's very Catholic. I had a talk with her about it the other day and it was like, you could literally murder somebody, but as long as you accept Jesus, you'll go to heaven. And I'm like, okay, but so somebody who's not a murderer and actually lived a good life and helped people around them who doesn't accept Jesus, they go to hell, but the murderer goes to heaven? Like, does that make sense to you? But okay, well, I'm not going to debate it.
I accept Carmelo Anthony's tears and upset as authentic. And I think he has himself, clearly, but his parents to blame. We have to teach our children emotional regulation.
Yep, exactly.
That's a parent's job.
Megan knows what she's talking about, bro. I like me some Megan, bro. Was that it? Did I have anything? I think that's it. I think that's all. We got through it all today, boys. Long show, 2.5 hours. I appreciate you guys who stuck around, who didn't leave the moment I played a clip to react to Ben Shapiro, okay? Everybody that left the moment I talked about Ben Shapiro and reacted to a clip. I mean, I don't know if I can forgive you guys. Much love, everybody. We'll see you on the next episode, whenever that is. Again, super busy. Making progress, though, with the VA, thank God. Finally was able to get my dad into a meeting on Monday, and they seem to be taking his case seriously now. So we got tomorrow, we're going to go get him some blood work done, and then got another meeting with the VA. So hopefully we'll be getting some progress on getting some help from my dad and me taking care of him. So some good news on that front, but still busy as fuck. So much love, everybody. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for all the thumbs up. If you haven't thumbs up the show yet, and you'd like to, that'd be appreciated. The links are in the description if you want to hang out in the Discord. I do give notifications for the show on Discord, so it's the best place to get a notification is Discord. But if you haven't, hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications. It doesn't hurt, even though you probably won't get a notification. It's still worth trying. Much love, everybody. We'll see you on the next episode of The Pink Trip Show. Take care. Have a wonderful night, guys. I'm going to go eat because I'm starving. Take care.
Please subscribe and hit the like and ring that bell if you want notified. Here's some other videos to watch that you might like or you might not. Have a great day, my internet friend. I hope I'll see you once again. Please subscribe and hit the like and ring that bell if you want notified. Have a great day, my internet friend. I hope I'll see you once again. Please subscribe and hit the like and ring that bell if you want notified.